and was just such a beatdown by Gambit because the first two maps in the series went to overtime where we're excellent, we're absolute bangers of a game. You wanted to see the series close out on a high note, but look, Gambit showed their quality, and Fnatic showed that they're still a young and a new team, and obviously it's going to be disappointing having, being in a position, being so close and having that taken away from you at the end if you're Fnatic, but I still think, look, they didn't like blow the world up with how they played at this event, but both of their losses were to Gambit, both in a best of one and a series to get knocked out of this event. That's kind of a tough thing to have to go up against Gambit twice.
Yeah, definitely. That last map wasn't really the true picture of like how the game was going, and I think overall Fnatic can be satisfied. Like you said, they only lost to Gambit, in the upper bracket and the lower.
Big and ends.
Not the greatest victories there, right?
Yep.
Not the worst ones as well, but overall, I think they should be happy with progress they made in the last 2 months. So. Again, coming into 2022, they have the Pro League coming in, and I'm not sure about Katowice playing, but, they have something to look forward to and keep working on.
Yeah, it's like, that Jason once said $20 is $20, but a W is definitely a W, especially in this right here. You think about the successes of the CIS
Sounds like something I'd say.
The past year, it's all on camera now. It's all on the internet forever. So we talk about the CIS region and some of the, diplomacy they've put down on the rest of the world. It's been a CIS show for quite some time now, Jason.
Yeah, it kind of started out as like a little bit, not a joke early on, but it was like, haha, imagine what's going to happen when the CIS teams all take over. And then, boom, they did. Once again, memes become reality. This is wild. Na'Vi with 6, Gambit 4, Virtus.pro with 1. Heroic is the lone bastion of hope.
12 events
for Denmark.
11 CIS victories. That's absolutely crazy to think about the CIS region. It was the year of the CIS.
I think what it was I was on Reddit. I think it's even like every tournament that had a CIS team in it was a CIS player was the MVP as well.
Yeah.
Like they won the team awards, they won the individual awards, they got everything.
So what do you guys, in your own words, think kind of creates that situation? What separates the CIS region in the past year's time frame, 2 years time frame?
I just think that the meta kind of that switched when we started playing online kind of suited them the most.
Yep.
They have this crazy individualistic style where they swing all the way, just like keep doing these crazy things. That's the perfect way to describe CIS teams in most ways, but they're so sharp, they're so skilled individually, mechanically, the players like Yekindar, and so on, right? And even the other VP players as well. So because we can see it in this event too, but all in all this like individual meta kind of suited them the most. The crazy type of CS, they just use the perfect opportunity to do it, and they're just the best, right?
I know you standing behind teams, you play some of those like younger Russian squads and scrims. They shoot real hard. And I'm assuming everyone knows in matchmaking as well. Some of those young Russians are wild.
Yeah, they shoot hard and they talk even harder, let me tell you. Because there are some things that get said in matchmaking that sometimes I just have to sit back and let it fly, Jason. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, you just got to sit there and I don't even know.
And you take it, I think. Yeah, that was exactly what he was going to say. He didn't want to say it. He got a little scared. Nonetheless, I think it is time to put our money where our mouth is. And in doing so, I'm going to have to ask my lovely Vanna White-esque assistant here to please grab said box.
Do you know who Vanna White is?
No, not sure.
Right. Just Google it when you get back to the green room. I think it's great.
It's pretty close, right? So our 1xBet predictions, it kind of went like this. Only 2 had G2. Now we're going to find out who that is. Go ahead and open up a card here for me, Kassad. And I will say this, just to go ahead and ruin it for everyone, nobody had VP. Imagine that. What did Hugo have? In Group of A, he had G2 and Heroic. Fitting. Well, next card.
He was half right.
50%. And that does not
Let's keep him going. Keep him going.
Yeah,
Harry
with
Astralis and Fnatic. Now, Fnatic, I can understand why he's gone that route.
Okay.
Unfortunate how that turned out for him, though, I guess.
Yeah.
Sponge.
Just looking for my name here to like.
Now, this guy has a mega brain. They talk about Megazord. This guy has a mega brain. Vitality and Gambit. Now,
that's not bad.
That's not bad. He has done that. That's good. We're going to put him to the side over here. Next one would be Mr. Alex Machine Richardson. And he has selected Astralis and Gambit as well. Somebody's on something wrong. That Astralis thing, man, I feel that. I really do.
Yo, mine is going to be nasty. You don't even want to know mine. Is that it right there? Just skip it. Just move on to the next one. It's fine.
This one right here is Moses' card.
Look,
Jason,
before you open this, I just want everyone to know I came into this event with the philosophy of swinging for the fences.
Okay. And what did that give?
Missed everything. Astralis in Group A, Heroic in Group B. I'm out.
Rip. We may as well throw this one out too.
I was on that Astralis hype train.
You might have to be at some point. I feel that because I.
You want to read this one too?
Hold on. We're not quite there yet. I got Paula right here who has also somehow magically selected Vitality and Gambit.
A late addition to the box. Judge's ruling.
Okay, Jason.
Kassad now. Ooh, I'm glad I have you with me. If there's anyone that's going to be down in the pit, I'd like you with me. Astralis and Heroic as well. So we'll just toss that one in the proverbial trash can.
What do we got here? Oh, this guy, Yanko. All right, yeah, all right. Let's see. Yanko has selected G2 and Heroic. Take a hike. What else you got? One more? All right.
How many talent we got on this broadcast?
There's a couple more in there, I think, right?
Oh, we're empty. That's it.
My God.
Pack it up.
You'll love to see it.
Oh, it's a classic.
Ladies and gentlemen, you love to see that.
He's
and you know
done
why?
it again.
That's
Trace
right.
somehow getting all the predictions
No, I did
correct.
get this right. Now,
yeah, sure you did.
Who I selected to win the
This is
tournament?
the problem.
Not even close.
Since you doctored it last time, we can no longer trust you.
How do they say? A broken clock?
That's right, twice a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And luckily enough, it's time for us to go to a break. So how about that, guys? How about them apples, Jason? Let's go ahead and go to a break so we can come back and talk a little bit about the game that is NIP versus GODSENT. Now, the numbers say 966 days since Device and Taco faced off. And holy smokes, is that a long amount of time? We'll be right back after this break, everyone.
The media could do close things out here. This could be the end of 100 Thieves.
It'll be the first notch for the Intel Grand Slam. At an Intel event, Astralis will take it again.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium. The complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Ready for two. Gets the kill on the first man. And the second and the third. Lined up the
With a USP, 10 seconds. Oh my god, they just have to kill him. No! Really don't believe it!
Plays now in. Foster, can he do it? He's got one. Gonna go back for more. Second on the JKS and a third from Foster. What a beast. Poison goes down.
quarter-finals day, and it's NIP taking on GODSENT. It's a star-studded lineup on either side, and this is bound to be a banging matchup. For NIP, they've got to be feeling pretty good. They've had a nice run of the tournament so far, taking down Astralis, hell, even taking down Liquid, something Astralis couldn't do themselves. And for Device, now up against Taco, we've been touting the 966 days it's been since these two players faced off against each other. Last time, Taco beat him 16-2, mate. So what have you got to say about that, Harry?
Yeah, well, you know, things are looking good for GODSENT, man. You know, I'm a big GODSENT fan.
Yeah.
This team's been on this rise. I remember catching them back at Summit. They've improved so much since then. And this transformation of Taco to a very capable IGL, bringing up these youngsters, it's just been an incredible journey to follow. I cannot wait to get into this game. And so while we get ready on our side, we can give this back over to the guys on the desk to talk about this matchup.
Absolutely, Harry and Hugo. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to be getting back to you shortly. Don't you worry. Don't fret at all. We are ready to kick off our quarterfinal with NIP and GODSENT. G2 awaiting just one step further in that bracket. And with me is Kassad and Moses to talk all things Counter-Strike and IEM. Jason, take it away.
Yeah, I think thanks for that. This is going to be a great quarterfinal. I think this is going to be really fun to watch. GODSENT's been impressive. They've had some good upset wins. Obviously, I think this would kind of making the playoffs, I think, is already going to make this event good for them.
Oh, yeah.
This win would make it absolutely stunningly great. This would be a huge thing. But, man, they got to play against their own inexperience. And that's what kind of caused them to collapse. In that last game against VP, they had a really tough time.
Yeah, and, you know, there's a lot to unpack there if you're GODSENT from every game that you play here. You know, it's a lot to understand. It's a lot of learning that's still going on from their side. But the truth is there in the numbers. And you can look at what NIP has done and what GODSENT have done over the course of their tournament attendance in the last of 2021. And it looks like that. Makes sense, don't it?
Now listen, it's 12 events. We saw like NIP played all of them this year, right? And GODSENT have only major, and they were like dead last. But the thing is, like with GODSENT, they have been like, you know, since September till now, they're just performing like crazy. Like they should be absolutely happy with what they did in the last 4 months.
Yeah.
Yes, Trace?
Yeah, I was just thinking it's like a good point not to let off the gas.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, they should be happy right now. They should be in a really good mood. And the problem that I see here is that them not knowing how to deal with Device.
Or, yeah, I mean, they had a really tough time dealing with Jame on VP as well. I mean, he bodied him on Dust 2. So, yeah, you have to imagine Device is going to be able to have a really good time today.
And plus, the Rez was there as well. You know,
yeah, Rez showed up next.
You know, it's not even necessarily, in my mind, like, obviously, of course, like, Device and Rez in terms of actual players in the server is going to be something you keep your eye on. But for me, it's about can they overcome the pressure?
Okay, so let's just kick it all the way back to when we first started, because there was a statement, or rather a vibe check put out from the side of Taco, and it goes a little something like this. And I think we can all agree, Jason. Do you agree with the statement as put on here? Because I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you know, you'd certainly hope that was going to be the case, though, right? Like, is this, I don't know.
I feel like
this isn't like a mind-blowing statement to me.
No, it's not, but they followed up on it. They followed through with it. That's what we're getting at.
Right, yeah. That's great. Congratulations, they followed through on it.
Good job. Kassad, thoughts?
I mean, it's pretty, like, I guess he was right in a way, right? So...
Listen, look, let's just say this. Whatever your take on that specific quote from Taco, they've upset Heroic in a best of one. That was impressive. I don't think anyone would have expected that or predicted that to be able to happen, even in a best of one. And then they took out Big, a team that we've all kind of established as the gatekeeper of like the tier one, like breaking into that tier one
after
level.
losing.
Got to be big to be there.
And that doesn't mean that GODSENT is now a tier one team, but obviously it's a good omen that they're able to come up to this level after going through the EPL conferences and now being in a position where you can beat teams like Big.
It's given the vibes that they want. Speaking of which, the vibe check that we need to check in on would consist of Paula talking over there to the GODSENT camp before we get started today.
What is going on, everybody? I'm checking in with GODSENT before their quarterfinals matchup against NIP. Demau, 18 years old, so young, to be in this position, about to play an amazing team. How does it feel?
I'm feeling good, and I hope this will be a good game, and that's it. Yeah.
Mentally, Demau, have you been able to deal with the pressure?
No. I'm just having fun with the game and playing with my teammates, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Well, keep smiling, mate, and best of luck. Guys, let's head over to Taco. Taco, it's been a long time since you last played Device. He's on this new roster now. Have you prepared as well as possible?
Yes, we prepared a lot to play this game, especially against Device. He's a great player, and it's great to be back playing against him again. I was even talking to the guys. He's a guy that I lost so many times, and I also won so many times. So, I mean, this is a new chapter, I think, in my career and his career as well. So let's see who end up in the top.
Talking about chapters, Taco, it's been such a journey for you and GODSENT. You've put in so much hard work. What's it like being at this stage of a competition on LAN here at IEM Winter?
Oh, I'm out of words every time that I think about being this stage, and even seeing my pictures on the walls, you know, like from players that played ESL tournaments before. And I'm just proud and grateful and happy and enjoying the moment. But of course, it leaves that taste that I don't want to lose the opportunity to be here again and again and again. I don't want to not be here playing tournaments and playing big tournaments and against great teams. So the feeling is just grateful, and yeah, I'm just happy, and we're going to keep working really hard to reach our goals.
Taco, thank you so much for your time and best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, for Taco and GODSENT, it doesn't necessarily get any easier going forward, but that's one of the most exciting aspects of it. Speaking of not making it easier, we're going to have to run the numbers just to show in comparison what we're looking at here. We got the stats matrix we can run in, Jason, and quite frankly, it's gonna say all the numbers. Good job, man, putting all that in so fast.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, this is, as you can see, stats matrix. First deaths for GODSENT, 59%. That's not ideal. I think the clutches won and the clutches lost is going to be a huge factor for this team, especially with the inexperience. If you start losing those clutches, losing those close 10s, 2v2s, 1v2s, that's going to be tough to recover from.
The thing is, these first deaths, I want to know if it's like, you know, them going for it and dying, or they're just somebody coming for them and killing them. You know, that's a big difference right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be a problem either way, because you could see, I mean, I think NIP was like 10 to 20% above on all their opening kill percentages as well.
It's just a difference in like how you approach the game after. Like, are your flashes not good? Are your entries, like entry plays, are not like very, very structured? Or is there somebody coming for you and just, you know, straight up killing you, out-positioning you, or whatever it is?
And you're saying the kind of keywords that I'm looking for right here, which are about roles. And, you know, we talk about entries, we talk about IGLs, we can talk about oppers pretty much for any team, obviously. But when it comes down to these two, the comparison, what does that start to look like?
Well, I mean, Taco and Hampus here. Hampus, he's gotten a lot of credits from some people in Sweden. I know Yanko's big on Hampus as well. They've had some tough T sides. He is the in-game leader over at NIP. But overall, I think he's doing a solid job, a good job. Taco as well might not be like the most like tactical person that you're going to look at and lean to, but he seems to have this team in a good mindset. He seems to have led this team at least in an emotional sense.
I don't know. I don't know how to evaluate Hampus at all, because I don't know what NIP is at this moment. Like, are they happy with the past 6 months since they got device? Are they like looking for something else?
Maybe the communication between them is probably making a lot of sense at that point.
Could be.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, it could be. They've talked about it a little bit. So it really, I mean, it's one of those things that's not a problem like 98% of the time, but the 2% of the time that it is a problem is like those are the moments that you have to have
big time problems too.
Regardless, I mean, I don't know. NIP, I don't think they'd be happy, but I don't necessarily think it's the point of being happy about the last 6 months. Are you happy with where it's going? Because this is going to be a process building that contender.
Exactly, like team like under construction kind of thing. Like, are we happy with the last 6 months, what we accomplished so far? Going into 2022, is it going to be like more moves? What kind of moves? Like, you know, the threat is stepping back, somebody else is coming in. You know, what's going to happen in 2022, how they feel about it right now.
Yeah, and, you know, for at least what it's looking like, we talked a little bit about what Taco and company have been doing, you know, for the past couple of months. And it's a lot of Counter-Strike they played, and especially on the side of NIP. So is there a crossover when it comes down to perhaps maps and something so basic as that, Jason?
Well, the fun thing with GODSENT and their maps is they really move around. They're very fluid in their veto process. They've picked like 4 different maps in the last 4 series. They've banned like 3 different maps in the last 4 series. They can take this a lot of different places, and it's going to be tough. And here, I think this is going to be a huge matchup we have in the game as well. Device taking on Dumao, the young Opper versus.
This is a problem for me, because Device has been known how to deal with this, like, you know, underdog teams. I'm not going to say like diminish GODSENT by any means, because they've been playing great, but Device know how to deal with them, and they don't know how to deal with him. That's the biggest problem. He's going to be allowed to do so many things, you know, in this game.
I'm glad to see them ban Dust 2, because yesterday Jame absolutely stopped them cold on Dust 2 with his AWP, and I was very, very worried of them going up against Device on the same map.
Just collat after collat after collat. Doesn't make things easier, but Nuke, a starting point picked by GODSENT, a CT start for NIP. We look on into Overpass as the next map in this series, and what are the odds of us getting a little ancient there at the end? How about that, fellas?
How about them apples?
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting one. I was surprised by this Overpass pick, to be honest, by NIP. I was expecting something more standard in terms of Inferno or maybe Mirage, but they know what they want. So
they may have also seen, like, remember, GODSENT has beat Big on Mirage when Big picked it, and then they picked it against VP and almost won it there. So maybe Nip's saying, obviously, they're feeling good on Mirage. Let's just stay away from it. Let's go elsewhere.
But if you're a favorite, you just go for your strength, right? You don't go for the punish pick there. Right? There is no reason for it.
Look, I mean, if you want to try and go real deep and read into it a little bit, perhaps maybe a little bit more, maybe they're just a little bit afraid.
So before we start, money where your mouth is GODSENT winning? Yes or no?
No.
No. All right, well, you guys, go ahead and rain on everyone else.
Heart is with GODSENT, head is with Nip.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Nip versus GODSENT. Let's get this one underway with Harry and Hugo.
Oh, thank you so much, Trace. Yes. Oh, this is a map VO of my dreams, man, and two of my kind of favorite squads to have followed along with, especially, man. This GODSENT squad, you can't help but be enamored with their story. You can't help but want to get behind them. And well, we're already into the pistol. Hugo, a little bit of outside presence shown by GODSENT to open this one up. Look at Hampus, mate. He's already going around the world trying to get stuck in, trying to see what lies outside GODSENT. They might have two here. They might have a bit of utility even to maybe throw into the mix. But for the most part, they're grouped up back in the lobby.
And GODSENT are really passive, really patient outside, and finally it pays off. Hampus dinked down, he's got to retreat. GODSENT won't hunt him down B though, they'll take the space outside, splitting into main. They have some really exciting T-side strats that we just saw the other day, and I can't wait to see more of them on Nuke. A split ready, S-Tag dead, and Phelps moving in. It's the back vent player cleared out as well. GODSENT are all on the board, low health on both remaining Nip players, and it's looking like Brazil is coming up top.
Yeah, one nice tap from Device, but, you know, he's all alone here, isn't he? And now swung by Lato, it's pretty quickly laid to rest. So GODSENT, they're going to grab themselves this pistol here. One of the things that we really liked about this team, and I say we, because I know you're in the same boat, right? We got to see them all the way back, start of the year, CS Summit. And this was pretty early on in their journey, right? And there was definitely potential there, but it wasn't really harnessed, you know. Around this time, that was where you had like the other Brazilian squads, like Oplano kind of on that rise. Yeah. And I would have put those two teams at about the same level, really. Maybe even Oplano a tiny bit ahead.
Bigger names. Sure.
But the thing that's been so impressive about GODSENT and this Taco-led squad, even saying that he still keeps in contact with the likes of Fallen for advice, mate, like he has built this team up now. They've risen to become, you know, one of the top Brazilian teams very, very quickly, which is so impressive.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of cool ideas. It was here on Nuke, they showed us that like booster silo play in the pistol. I think that was back at IEM Fall, right?
I mean, you talk about, you know, you make the comparison with Oplano, which is obviously now 0-0 Nation. You talk about potential. Well, at the time, both these squads, you know, they looked okay. They weren't the best in the region. And we were going, yeah, both these squads have potential. Well, the difference between those two rosters is GODSENT have taken the potential.
Exactly.
And they've run with it.
They've harnessed it, man. They've turned it into something tangible.
Yeah, not only a run at the major. You know, remember, Oplano went 0-4, 0-5 in the groups back at Full, not even qualifying. But now here at Winter as well, trying to get through those playoffs for a deep old run. These quarterfinals have begun, and GODSENT have taken their anti-eco. Nip now, Swedes and Danes, bit of Nuke, and they're coming in with a bye.
Yeah, let's see how exciting this gets from the get-go then. NIP are going to try and get themselves back on the board. Taco's been spotted outside. Phelps was hoping to trade that out, but Device is on for a double now. Dumao could have something to say about this. Oh, that's a nice shot. Device on the receiving end of that Khalil, but he's still done his job outside. You'll take a 2-for-1 out of Device. And also, this is only going to make... Ooh, hang on a moment. Yeah, I was going to say, this is only going to make Hampus's position that much stronger, right? You're not ready for a second man here. And even if he gets away with one and then somehow gets traded, like, mate, it's an almost undoable round from that point onwards. So
you think Hampus only wants one, Harry? Come on. Keep it together. He would love them both, but GODSENT have backed up. They're not going to give him the satisfaction. And, well, little do they know, they've just saved their own life, prolonged their own round. But for how much longer, you ask? S-Tag, that's one hell of an off angle. AK as well. He was looking pretty pinpoint yesterday in that game against Liquid, and out of ammo, back to the pistol. Shame he didn't have it, but it's still going to be a 1v3 for Dumao that he surely shouldn't be able to get done. The big flank is in from Hampus. Rez is anchoring the A site, and Plopsy's going to get that first spot and the drop. It's Nip on the board with 3 alive.
Yeah, really nice stuff to see Device, you know, hitting the ground running there, like being the guy to make the play, to kickstart your first rifle round in this game. Yeah, hopefully that's a sign of things to come out of the guy. I think as well, one of the big question marks when we look at NIP, I think it's got to be Rez, right? When we look at this guy, we look at him, we're thinking, can he relive some of these huge performances we've seen him have throughout the tournament so far?
It was his opening game on Nuke against Astralis, where he went like 20-5. I think he was just destroying. I think 29-6 was the end score. So, or 26-9 rather. So yeah, he certainly can do it, but he needs to start strong and he needs to start quick. Right now it's outside again. Device, he's going to see those smokes go down. Hampus could climb over, he could flank. He's just got to make sure he goes late enough that he doesn't get caught by the last player. Now it's Hampus in the back line, stabbing one. The call is made though, they know they're down lower. GODSENT are running amok and Estag is here to clean up. Only one yet again, and the flank down secret commence.
Yeah, there's 3 players on lower, but look, Taco is holding for this. Device gonna come and check for him, but Taco, that's clean. Tech9 taps out Device, and now that you've dealt with a player back towards ramp, you could try and have this flank come in or look for other options. Taco is hoping to soften up this B play, but instead, he's bested by Plopsky on the ramp hold. And yeah, that's a nice little hold out of Plopsky there. GODSENT, you know, they went all in with the purchase, but it was, you know, mostly pistols, armor, and the likes.
Yeah. I mean, you can come into this game, you can hype up GODSENT all you want. At the end of the day, they are still underdogs. Harry, Nip are probably pretty happy to get a team like this in a quarterfinal right now. Yeah. You know, as much as GODSENT have, you know, people have made that mistake underestimating GODSENT, presuming it'll be a freebie. But yeah, Nip don't look stressed. Look at Estag, and I think they're coming in confident, especially if, like you say, we get that res performance that we've been having in, well, a few of these games in this tournament. Far better than Blast, of course, for him. GODSENT looking to pop top, smokes out, but with the door swung, Estag spams it blind and drops the bomb. Phelps almost flanks him, and somehow Estag still stands tall. Everyone covering their teammates. It's perfect for NIP, set up fully on A.
See, Estag's actually like a very cool character for me when the server's live. Whenever you see him, he's yelling, he's getting loud, he's getting pumped, and I don't think it's just to pump his team up. I think a lot of this is directed, you know, across the show floor, as it were, just to try and get in your opponent's head a little bit. Even when we spoke to Liquid just the other day, right? They said, yeah, man, those NIP boys, they're always yelling.
We've really seen that come back out in LAN, right? Like, be it Nathani on Gambit, just screaming every round, getting in your opponent's head. There's a team kill in this one. It's not pretty, and it's not going to get much better. It feels like wherever GODSENT have gone, Harry, they've run into a stack, right? Obviously on A, but even Yard, it's been Hampus, Device. Well, this was the double ramp hold. Right now, Nip have certainly got some reads in their brain. They're making the right calls. CT side nuke, you feel like nothing can go wrong, and that's back-to-back flawless rounds. So GODSENT, they've got quite the task here to try and break down this bank forged by NIP.
Yeah, this was always going to be a pretty clean round, right? And feels bad for Dumao. He's given us some really nice moments.
I think it feels worse for Barton, to be honest.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I ain't trying to blame Barton for that one, but all right, look, we got these outside smokes ready to go in and over.
Estag seems so keen for the lobby man in this game already. Even before the smokes come out, he's poking his head in the hut.
Yeah, NIP have been very, very keen to aggress it in a lot of these rounds. Like, even now, it's secret, but Hampus is in your face. There's more where that came from. Hampus. And, that's almost a third. How's he doing swipes like that? All right, well, Hampus has done his work in this round. 2 do make it down towards B, but that's where Rez is meant to be here to mop this up. Dumao and Barton are worlds apart, and with Dumao dead outside, it is just this bomb on the back of Barton in the 1v4.
Yeah, some sick utility from Nip, right? Even though that molly is just a couple seconds too late, GODSENT get the wall down and 2 players jump around it. That HE grenade, I think it was from Device, from Garage, just dunked Dumao for 50. Barton's been spotted, 1 smoke, but there's more than 1 choke, and Nip are here. Device coming in from the flank, and it's a clean up again for Nip. 4 alive, absolutely no complaints. Been seeing Rez anchor B well as well in these previous rounds, and as you can see the score tally on the right side, it may have started strong for GODSENT, but then reality set in as it always does.
I've really, really liked this Device Hampus duo towards outside, man. It's looking very, very strong early on. Getting a good sense that they know how to play off of one another, right? And on top of that, they're just being so you know, they're almost like harassing you outside, man. Like, you've got so many different ideas here. Hampus has done a lot to do with the aggression outside. If you remember as well, Device in that first rifle round pushes the outside smokes. Thus far, if you're GODSENT, like, NIP is setting this precedent that, mate, your outside smokes are not going to hold us back. They're not going to get you that safe passage down to secret. Even if they do, we're pretty keen to play a secret play, you know, get aggro, get in your face and fight for that. So it's causing a lot of problems for GODSENT right now. It feels like they're running into a brick wall because, as you've said, you know, when they haven't gone outside and they've tried to hit, you know, those ramp brushes, those fast A plays, it feels like they've been running into a stack. So right now, can't even begin to imagine what this must feel like for GODSENT. Everything they're trying is getting denied by NIP. It's another fast A round, and this time they do get the opener.
Plopsky pressured, and that's the bomb drop. That's going to throw this round into disarray. He looks away, and Barton cleans the kill, but GODSENT forget the plant. They're all about frags right now. There's a boost in the main smoke as Hampus got a gap. Rez is looking for heads from above, but he's missed the spray, and Barton picks up the pieces on for the ace. 4 kills right now, and they're waiting for Hampus to come to them. He will. Flash is good. He turns, and he's getting spammed. Bomb drop again, but Taco through the smoke finishes it off. Wow, what a round. The ace stack, it doesn't matter. It doesn't do much. And Barton does it all.
Yeah, really lovely stuff from Barton, man. This guy has always been a talent. This is something that I do like about this GODSENT squad, right? To kind of give you a bit of a talk. Obviously, there's the names you instantly recognize if you're a fan of Brazilian Counter-Strike, right? You look at Taco, you look at Phelps, you know who those guys are. Maybe you're a little less familiar with some of the other names here. Guys like Barton, right, formerly over in Team 1, used to be one of the star players there. And this wasn't a case where they plucked stars out of other teams that were like on the rise, only for everyone to suffer, as we've seen, you know, with squads like Liquid, for example. Like
filled the void pretty damn well with Malves, so you can't really complain. And yeah, like you, oh, what on earth? Taco came back up the vent. That's just a disrespect play, Plopsky. He does get the trade again. Device pushed up on ramp, drops the bomb, but there's a second player coming from spawn. He looks the wrong way. Plopsky dead on the top site. Device still holding, and he's got a bit more support now. Still looking the wrong way. Oh, but they don't kill Device. Dumal now knows there's another man here. Smoke, flash, bomb picked up. The grenade and the spam will do, though. Device trades out, and to great effect, he could not see him. He couldn't see anything. And now Barton's got to do it again.
Yeah, but don't sleep on Barton, man. This guy's good. Keeping his wits about him. He's looking for the reposition. Oh, my God. It's terrifying because he doesn't really know where Hampus resides right now. You know, he could have gotten anywhere in all this time. Last place they saw him, he got the kill outside. Barton dropping down the ladder, has retrieved that bomb. Device has now realized this as well. With that smoke fading in the lobby, he's going to make the call that, yeah, the bomb's gone, and NIP think this is the A play. Now, with Hampus going up heaven and clearing out the site, you know it's not A now. You hear the bomb going down on B, but you've got to drop. Barton's got himself a chance, the 1v2. Here's that fast ramp flank as well as that Device, making his way over towards Decon, and Barton's in danger of getting pincered here. Doesn't know where Device is, but it's Hampus to deal with him. And so it's a nice try from Barton. He navigates it well. He had the read, but isn't able to win that initial fight. And things go downhill from there very, very quickly.
Yeah, good awareness from NIP. It would have been easy for Device to get ahead of himself there with the vent drop, but he knew with him making noise and with the door left open, Barton could be close. He could be walking up. Same awareness from Hampus, right? They didn't hear anything and be past the plant. So NIP, they clean it up in the 2-on-1. And you were just talking about GODSENT players and the recognizable faces and the other guys coming up, right? These up-and-comers, these younger players, and they really are younger players, 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
These guys are very fresh off the press, Harry, and so there's plenty of years to see these guys grow and this roster build as time goes on. Forget the future, though. GODSENT want the glory now. And with another gun round, Taco again gets down vent. Not even a smoke this time. Nip can't stop him. Hampus is now AWPing because Device wants frags. And Taco's coming up from lower. This time not up the ladder, but up the stairs.
Oh, man, Taco. Can he beat the AWP of Hampus and Garage? If he gets this, he opens up safe passage for Dumau over on Silo. Suddenly outside is owned by GODSENT, and it gives them a chance in this round. But we're really looking at Taco to win this fight. Missed shot, and there he is pouncing. That is a big kill for Taco.
Went ahead of the flash as well. Like, he just, good awareness. You know, he could have waited for the flash. It probably would have worked, but here's a missed shot and takes the opportunity.
Oh, and he's trying to take even more opportunities, mate. Taco is trying to be the savior of this round, the guy to do it all. He's still on this deep outside flank. Now, while this is happening, the rest of GODSENT have got to retake lobby. S-Tag's already pushed up. And so Taco's done so much here. Oh, another kill for him. Him and Barton. 2-1-3. It's not over yet, right? Because they don't know that Barton's here. That's kind of the weirdness. But S-Tag, he could spot it. He might miss this timing. Oh, man, he doesn't get the spot. They don't know that Barton is here with the bomb. There's 25 seconds, and he could wrap this hot player. S-Tag, oh, he's seen him. That's the bomb. S-Tag missed a bunch of timings and then hits it perfectly. Taco needs the ace in a 1-on-3, and S-Tag has stolen this round away. Even though Taco deals with him, it's Device in the vent to lock it in, and NIP are onto a 7th.
Oh, dude, what a nice round out of Taco. You've got to love the protocols for NIP there, right? It's not like, you know, you're typically going to be taking lobby when you see these full yard smokes, and you see a 3 or 4 player commit. Maybe you're looking for a lurker on T-roof, but that's not the case. All Hamper sees after he takes this pick is 1 player deep and Taco up close. They don't have this info that GODSENT are all outside. Still NIP, fearless lobby take, and we've seen GODSENT keep trying to retake lobby in the mid-round. They just can't. That should be T control.
Yeah,
they can't even get involved.
You need to keep S-Tag out of lobby now, because it is becoming a problem. Like early on, you're thinking, well, he can't do this every round, but now he's doing it every round. That's where you need to try and reel it in a little bit. To the credit of NIP, though, oftentimes he is supported by, you know, a ramp push at the same time. I think it's really put, you know, the fear in GODSENT, even with how they're playing lobby. It's very passive. Hampus again with this secret control. Oh, okay, Taco.
Taco, he's always behind you, man. You never know when he's going to find you. And Hampus, mate, he got the pick outside, dropped vent insta. He was hungry for impact in this round, and he found it. Been stopping these secret drops time and time again. Device should be his. Taco's dead. That's so far away. You don't even know where you dive from. That's the power of the A1S. Taco's calling, he's outside. He's hell, probably. And now Device is posted up, looking to make Dumal's life exactly that. And it's another round for NIP. This CT side has been glorious. Other than the pistol and the anti-eco conversion, GODSENT won 1 A-rush on a half buy, and otherwise it's been all NIP.
Yeah, man. And dude, like with how aggressive, with how, you know, we used that word of like harassing earlier on from NIP and how they are just like constantly pressuring you. With all this coming in, I think it's really hard for GODSENT to play their game, to run any of their actual ideas, right? The majority of these rounds, whenever you try to take, you know, like secret control, for example, mate, you're getting AWP'd on the cross. Hampus is, as you're saying, like fast drop and vent and challenging you in secret. You're going to go back to another one of these fast A plays because this is like one of the only things that's worked. They get down the vent. That's something they've been able to get away with somewhat consistently. But even now, right, your forces are split. 2 upper, 2 lower, and you need both these lower players to stay alive or else you can't plant.
Tag in the lobby, no surprise.
Classic. He's always there, mate. He spends more time in the lobby than GODSENT do.
Pretty much, dude. And right now, Barton's going to get a D, but you wouldn't imagine this should be a 1-round, a convertible round for GODSENT. They don't even know how close they've gotten. Taco, they're right above you right now. They're in the walls, they're in the ceiling, they're in the vents. And Taco looks away at the wrong time. Hampus gets the spot. He's trapped by 3 on the bomb site. And Barton, couple of shots here would be nice. Couldn't get the ace last time, though. And this will be no exception. Bomb is stuck, and round is won by NIP. It's a good plant for GODSENT on a broken buy. The vent drops have been nice to them at least, but NIP are not conceding rounds right now.
I thought for a moment that like Barton was going to be onto something great, but the plant just isn't for him. It's so sad. Like if anyone was going to know the Malbs demos, if anyone was going to have gone through the Malbs MD scrolls to learn the way of the Deagle, it's a man like Barton, former teammate. So NIP, they put a stop to the Deag, and now we have the guns back out for GODSENT. This AWP still in the hands of Hampus, something that we see a hell of a lot, actually. Him and Device just kind of freestyling that one around.
Doing it yesterday against Liquid. He's like, yeah, just take it. You know, I'm fine. I'm just running around. I'm Device. I'm playing that rotate role. I'm getting involved. Wherever the action is, that's where you'll find me. And it's showing 14-5. All of this dominance, Harry, and we haven't even talked about Rez because he's been a non-factor. He's not been dying. He's not been opening. He's just been chilling. Ramp side, dropping B. And so NIP don't need him. Not yet, but he's always in the back pocket for later.
Your job at ramp is a little boring when S-Tag is taking lobby every round. It's just nullifying the position, right?
Yeah.
So
he's lower, but GODSENT haven't even made it to secret North End.
Oh, they are starting to lean towards ramp, and maybe on a bit of a timing here, with Rez having already dropped. We're going to look at Hampus to have to hold for this. But at the same time, Dumao slipped this net past the garage player outside. If Hampus can't hold on to this position at ramp, this lower position could get real scary with the secret flank coming in from Dumao, coupled with this ramp hit. But Rez catches Dumao on the lower push. Now he's got time to turn his attention back round and hold ramp. He's no longer in danger. Devices come dropping in to help him out. And man, the responses out of NIP are so clean right now.
Yeah, it's just too much confidence. Yeah, finally Rez, he gets a taste of blood at the end. You see him like playing it nice and safe, throwing his util, buying time, kills the lurker, knows they're all ramp, and Device just drops. That's why he's given up the orb. Opens the door, swings it out, kills 2, leaves. You know, he's just, he's coming in, he's robbing you, and he's getting out for free. GODSENT, no matter if they've got good position, no matter if they've got good calls, right now they're just getting outclassed, out-aimed, and battered by NIP. Also, Harry, some good news for anyone, for GODSENT fans, for NIP fans. Yeah. It's the playoffs, so we are back with fan cams, IEM.GG/fan cam. Get in there.
No way.
We're going to be showing some of your beautiful faces on the stream later on. So
genuinely.
IEM.GG/fan cam.
I'm going to hard sell the fan cams as well, man. Because
if we can't have a crowd, we will have the fan cam.
We were speaking to our one of the wonderful folks here. Is right, Ollie. He's someone who's very, very passionate about these. Right, there's some familiar faces in here already. The community in the fan cams is great, man. Everyone in here is getting on. They're all having a good time. I frequently see people or hear from people that they've met, like friends who they hang out with now all the time in these fan cams. It's a really wonderful thing, man, and it's that sense of community that I think we've all been missing out on.
Definitely. I want to wait for Ollie, you know, our stage manager, to rock in his full suit, in his bow tie.
He's done that a couple of times now.
Yeah, he dresses dapper for the fan.
He's a wonderful guy, and he's in there as well, so, you know, that's reason enough. Here we go. We're going to get back into this one. It was a little tag pause out of GODSENT. They're trying to address these problems. There's still a chance at a 5-10 half, and maybe with that, you know, there's still hope here. But this is a very confident NIP where everyone is causing you problems. I think most notably, it's this trifecta. S-Tag taking away lobby, and then the Hampus Device duo that's been manipulating this outside control. They've been so pivotal to this scoreline for NIP.
Bobski's just feeling like how Perfecto does on CTU. Sitting rafters like, all right, guys, you going to save some kills for me? No? Okay. Oh, they're lower? Oh, cool. Nice round, guys. 5-5. But so was Rez last round, and he got involved. Maybe some impatience, perhaps, for Device. It could pay off. Nothing stopped him so far. They're lining up smokes. Oh, dear. Phelps jumps out, but Device doesn't know they're close. Taco saves the round and covers his team. A massive opening kill for GODSENT. You talk about this possibility of a 10-5. Well, it's got to be off the back of that kill. Fake smokes outside, and for the first time, NIP don't have that info. Hampus isn't lower, he's AWPing behind the smoke, but S-Tag has a massive gap. That is huge. No one from NIP is going to drop lower, and GODSENT think they've tricked them. They think they've fooled them. They've done nothing of the sort.
That is brutal, isn't it? Like, here's GODSENT have got no idea. In their heads, they're saying, oh, boys, think about what these smokes have done. You know that's going to put the seed of doubt in your opponent, or at least that's what you're telling yourself, but it hasn't at all. Rez, at ramp, we say that this guy hasn't really seen anyone yet. He's got support from Hampus. They're going to try and hold the line, and they are fighting for ramp control. They're not giving it up. They're not conceding. They're not showing respect. Barton will manage one. Oh, making a double, and Phelps suddenly coming in with a main frag.
Here we go.
Maybe GODSENT can win this after all. 1 HP on Barton, 22 on Phelps. Plopsky could end this round in 2 damn bullets, and there's the first connecting. 1 HP on Barton.
It's a loud and proud vent drop. That smoke's a problem. Plopsky's going to double back. He wants nothing to do with it. Audio cues tell him that Barton is still in the bomb site, but where? Plopsky gonna reroute double door, maybe even window. He's got the time for it. Kit available, and 1 kill away to keep this clean for NIP. Barton, is he on the angle? Is he wide enough? And no, he's just got covered. Plopsky has to make noise. Barton's fired off. Plopsky's missed. He doesn't realize. He doesn't know. Barton's hidden it in plain sight, and Plopsky just needs that final bullet. Flash, stalled, killed, but I don't know if there's time. It might just be a GODSENT round. He's trying to stick. He's praying. He's hoping. But he's not winning.
Wonderful little clutch out of Barton, right? Like, yeah, it doesn't win the engagement, but that's not what it's about, man. It's about winning the round. He just plays the timing game. He knows that by staying alive, he's done enough. At 1 point of health as well, mate. You can take Barton out of Team 1, but you can't take the 1 out of Team Barton, can you?
I love this ramp hold as well for Nip, right? Like, Rez was fighting initially on the headshot angle, but then as soon as he hears a flash come in, knowing it won't get him, knowing it's going deep, he crouches anyway. That lets the AWP take the first contact. GODSENT think, oh, the only ramp player, you know, like we already said, they thought they faked out Nip. They didn't. The first contact is the AWP. That's what draws you in. Next thing you know, Rez is poking his head up and popping yours. Device is now taking back the AWP. All it took was one lost round, and that's enough for Nip. Don't want to give them that way in, don't want to give them that 10-5, but Device, how will he deal with, yet again, full outside smokes? Oh, that's if they even use them. Phelps is going up and over, gotta be careful. Bombs here for Taco as well. Still no lower drop, and still a gap in the smoke. Luckily, no one watching right now. And this is the first time that not only GODSENT have got to B with no info, but they've walked the entire way. There's not even a lick of information that Nip can use other than they could be B, they could also be A.
Yeah, finally they've been able to hold on to lobby as well for the longest time. Like, you've denied information all across the board, but if you try drop vent, oh, you're dead, Latto. Oh, get up there, run away, Barton. No, he drops back down into the Maws of the Beast, and now Taco needs to trade this. It's a little bit ugly. Him and Phelps are desperately fighting for this vent control, but it's going so wrong. Phelps, what can he do? Makes some noise, tries to bait the vent drop, and he will. Plopsky down to his death. He knows that both these remaining players are in this B bomb site, I assume. No, he doesn't know where Device is. Device is the unknown entity right now. Holding the bomb, he'll lock it in. 11-4 for NIP at the end of this first half. With a pistol and conversions going the way of GODSENT, it might have been a good start, but past that point, everything came up NIP.
Hey Future Pros! Back on Nuke today with a nade set to get you down secret. This is a set piece you will see most pro teams run with some variation.
vengeance here to take down GODSENT. 966 days since Taco and Device faced off in the server. In that instance, it was Taco on MIBR taking down Device on Astralis 16-2. It's been a while, but history not doomed to repeat itself. Not yet, at least. It's Nip shredding GODSENT, and now they go to their T side.
Yeah, I went back and looked for that game. I was like, mate, this was all the way back in 2018. That's not 966 days ago.
2019.
Yeah. 2019, rather, yeah. And, yeah, it is. Time does fly. GODSENT, though. Do they have enough time to pull this game back? That's the big question. At 4-11, think about how that first half went. They win the pistol. They get the conversion. They were 2-0 up, but since that point, they were only able to win 2 with rifles in hand. We need a good CT side out of them.
Look at the lean, man. It's so safe. It's so far back. GODSENT have barely left spawner there. All eyes on outside. He saw it.
Oh, he's seen a barrel. Hampus. Dead to Phelps. And now they start to spill in towards this A bomb set. Like GODSENT, they were set up to play a retake from the get-go. You have both the retake smoke in Heaven from Barton and also these flashes to try and get you in. 4 from Heaven. Phelps coming in through main. It is all on this Heaven push right now. Rez holding for it. They're flooding in. Here they come. S-Tag underneath is dealt with by Barton. Plopsky, tapping them out. Is throwing into this 1-on-2. With Phelps winning the fight to Device earlier on, he's now joining the action as well. And together, him and Lato going to close that one out. It's both pistols going the way of GODSENT here on Nuke.
And they got an affinity for pistol rounds, these guys. Always something cooking up, right? Like you mentioned earlier, it was this team that back at IEM Fall in NA, they were the ones to run on this map. You know, a full A attack on T side boosted into Heaven from the silo. Now they're playing retake, and it's perfect, especially when you're up 5-on-4 like that, picking Hampus outside, and then with all the smokes, all the flashes, and all the manpower to get it done. Now, that might mean nothing still, unless they can build upon it. Plopsky getting shut down in 2 of these clutches now, still remaining positive. Nip have breathing room, and in fact, so much so that they've decided to force buy bomb plants enough for 2 AKs, 3 Deagles, and a wealth of utility. If you want to start running smokes, you can indeed. And Taco, trying to do his best S-Tag impression, taking lobby, does a lot of damage. Device put down to 5, going to reroute outside. And swapping the Deeg back with Hampus, who has far more health. Helps moving up from Secret, and he's going to be able to confirm if there is presence outside soon enough.
Oh, that's clean. I do think Phelps is going to prove to be a very key piece of the puzzle here.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, you know, someone who puts up numbers in these GODSENT victories. Considering the experience, the tenure of this guy, you're hoping and he can rise up and join the likes, you know, of Barton and Taco topping the charts for GODSENT. CT side as well, he's so important here towards outside. You're going to look for him to kind of be like, almost like this Hampus-esque player where he is, you know, the one dropping into Secret, the guy playing back garage, the one, you know, holding main for the A plays. Taco,
hello,
all the way through the lobby, but he's missed this opportunity here.
Now he
has
has
a chance. Hampus getting up and past Phelps. Taco with the wrap. There's Device dead, and it's all under control. Yeah, that one door play never even worried Taco. He had his eyes on a far bigger prize, which was that outside play.
They're getting rid of that force buy, by the way. Like, that was a full investment from Nip with a couple of AKs, and they don't lose a single man. GODSENT are going to be able to grab both of those guns. So forget the bonus round, you're building up cash already. But this is, you know, similar to what we saw in that first half, and it still led nowhere. So we've got to see, you know, one more eco before Nip come in with that full buy and get to show us what they want on this T half. Just pistols now, running it dry. Dumao, time to get some ecos maybe, get back on the board, get your head in the game. That's what we saw from Phelps, right? You were mentioning him. He was very quiet in the first half until the last couple of rounds, and Dumao is finding out how it feels to be let off the leash. 2 kills through smoke from Phelps. Dumao helps, and it's a done deal for GODSENT. Nice and clean on this CT side in the last 2 rounds, but now the true test is round the corner.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself because we all know how that first half went, right? It was looking good in the pistol, mate. It always is when you're getting conversions. But hey, man, like one of those was that all-in force buy, like you say, of NIP. Maybe that's why I'm feeling a little more confident. I really can't wait to see how this first rifle round pans out. I want to know what NIP have up their sleeve, but also if GODSENT are going to be able to keep this comeback coming in. Outside smokes just flooding this outer area. Dumao also donning that AWP. Ooh. I haven't really seen it from him yet, so... Oh, not the opener you wanted. Hampus going to shut him down. CT side, it was Hampus lighting them up outside with that AWP. Well, now he's dropping it on the other side of things. Ramp's been left open as GODSENT have shuffled players around. And Phelps might be in for a world of hurt. There are a lot of bodies here, and they are far deeper than he was ready for. Phelps is dead. And with him falling on lower, you could make an argument for this just being a save right away.
Yeah, maybe get that AWP outside, right? Get away with whatever you can, but GODSENT, you never want to give it up without a fight. Unfortunately, the fight comes to you. You don't get to decide. Lato, 1v5, and it's Device to tap him out of the round. Lovely from our NIP, right? We held off for a moment. We felt like NIP were coming in with something big, and that's certainly one way to start your T side. Delayed gratification. The first rifle round is flawless. That's got to feel just a little bit good for NIP. It's a shame that Dumao misses his AWP shot outside, right? Because typically this is GODSENT are a team that are very free-flowing with the AWP. I was about to say Taco. He's a guy who AWPs ramp on this map a lot. It's very map-dependent. Sometimes we'll see Lato taking it. Sometimes Dumao. Barton can even wield that weapon if he must. And so, yeah, I was wondering, did Dumao request it? Is he trying to get his head back in the game? That's not going to help. Oh, Phelps on the edge of the smoke. Somehow sees Hampus first. But now with Taco warping ramp, NIP, it's something that they're definitely ready for, right? You're not completely underestimating your opponent. This is a contingency that GODSENT go to every CT side on this map. Unfortunately, as we learned from Rez's first half, sometimes a ramp player can just get left on their own, left to do nothing, unless you're talking B retakes. But NIP rerouting back through the lobby. Outside is not their port of call. Hampus has been getting, you know, picked there sometimes. Pistol round, for example, but he got the kill last time. Device lining up the hut roof molly. It looks just to be an A-pop.
Yeah, good few bodies here for GODSENT though, right? This is not a free sight by any stretch of the imagination. They've got these crossfires set up. And for Dumao and Lato, that one's nice, squeaky clean and easy. Device gets out through the door. But a 1v5? I don't know, Device, he might be the $1 million man. This is quite the $1 million question. Here he is, creeping in. He knows he has a chance at one, but Barton wins that out, and you're never even worried.
Yeah, sometimes all it takes that first, and they can come steamrolling in. Harry, the re-peaks are there. You're flicking, you're feeling it. But if you never get on the board in the first place, never get that first, well, we'll never know. A nice return to glory for GODSENT, winning this rifle round right back off of NIP's first. It's going to be very interesting to see if Hampus commits to these solo lurks outside, if he's going to be doing his typical main walks, his secret drops, or if NIP maybe will attack it with a bit more presence. It seems to be the case. Device is crossing with the AWP, but so is Phelps. Blinded, he makes it down. Do they know? Device seems aware. Well, now he does. Smoke in. He can't stop Phelps. That's a one-way typically. Can Phelps get an angle above this smoke, trying to climb on? But they know about it, right? Nip is spamming back in anticipation of this play. Dumao drops the AWP through the smoke, though. And Phelps can just give it up. Fine. 5-on-4. Pressure's on Nip.
Oh, Dumao's still swinging. It's scary. With every peek he takes, he could just give this equalizer over.
What?
Oh, Dumao gets out of there. And collective sigh of relief for GODSENT. Dumao just didn't want to be in the garage. He didn't want to be in a position where they could look to push him down and get that trade. Now he sets himself up in hell. And the NIP are routing towards garage. They are moving this way. You can see why Dumao did not want to be trapped out here with that AWP and this three-man hold. They're going to leave Hampus with the AWP outside. That bomb going back into lobby, looking to regroup with S-Tag. Maybe they can find a timing at ramp, they're telling themselves. Maybe Hampus can come in on this little wrap, look to set them up towards either ramp or heaven, but it's not going to happen with Dumao sat here for the last, 40 seconds waiting for exactly that. Now Taco's posted at ramp. This is a lovely read out of GODSENT. They know what NIP are trying to do, and they are poised to shut it down.
Oh, the bait peaks. Taco's just wiggling, jiggling, forcing shots and hitting every single one. He burns, but he dies a martyr right there.
This is crazy, man. One of the things we learned from Taco when he first, was crafting this team, first building up, is he said, like, yeah, I still have a good relationship with Fallen. He still gives me advice on, like, how I should be calling or little, kind of bits of info here and there to help him build up his early repertoire. Must have taught him how to dominate with that AWP while IGLing as well. That was clean, bro.
There's a reason it's pretty free-flowing on this CT side on GODSENT, right? Like, typically, T-Op, you're going to be looking at someone like Dumao, more so Lato, but Taco, once it hits CT side, once you're holding those angles, it's very nice. Right now, Harry, these rounds for NIP are essentially getting decided by Hampus's lurks. Don't get me wrong, the AWP, lurk, hell, wrap ain't what they had in mind, but just making the best of a bad situation. When Hampus is getting that kill outside, i.e. Nip's first gun round where he picks Dumao on the AWP and gets down towards Secret, Nip are winning. When Hampus is getting picked apart solo, that's when GODSENT, they know what's going on. They kill a lurker out, they're ready ramp, they're stacked up A. So Nip, they might go back to, on the next gun round, a full outtake, get players down Secret, because right now we haven't seen these lower pops for Nip. They've just been getting their rounds decided by a lurker outside.
So if you're a GODSENT fan, if you are looking for reasons to really rally behind the guys, not just that they've closed the gap massively, but you got to remember, NIP's T-sides have been the topic of a lot of conversation, and notoriously, it's something they struggle with a lot right now. So, there might be this 3-round buffer still, but look, man, you're on another partial buy. This is one that GODSENT are looking to pick up, at which point you've got like one rifle round between you and an even game. Oh, dead after one. Lato's going to hold down the door and drops the bomb in the process, even trying to take Lobby away. And it's only Hampus left in the blink of an eye. Lato goes on a bit of a tear with the hat trick. Double digits for GODSENT. And now that reinvestment's coming in for NIP, but this ain't plain sailing anymore, Hugo.
Yeah, I know, it's only pistols, but it was shredded. Lato knew that last player, who was the guy throwing utility on the roof, was going to be coming in late through lobby, so really good awareness at the end there, not getting flustered, and it would be, defendable for GODSENT to get flustered. This is a deep run in a tournament for a rookie team up against some huge brand names on the other side, so this is impressive for GODSENT if they can keep it up. Nip, though, calling a pause, and much like their first gun round, they're going to be bringing something new to the table.
Something we saw back at IEM4 was GODSENT as well, especially in like pistol rounds. They were glad the anti-strat. Like they clearly been putting in a lot of effort for very particular calls at times to deal with how teams like to play pistols on Nuke. I remember it was them who had like this kind of like weird main smoke setup. I don't remember what team they were up against. It's very, very vague. But the point I'm making, GODSENT, they definitely do their homework, and I think they knew coming into this that first half was going to be, the toughest one out of the two. They know that if they're going to win this, it's on their CT side, and so I don't think this comes as a surprise to GODSENT at all. I think this is exactly what they wanted and exactly what they prepped for.
That game you're talking about is when they took down Liquid in IEM4. They managed to beat them on this map as well. They then went fourth to the grand final against Furia and started to really get outclassed. But they
stellar memories.
That was a really exciting game when they managed to beat Liquid in that match. So don't count them out. I mean, you'd be a fool to at 12-10. Nip trying to condition outside. Look who has the info. It's Phelps. Even Dumao's AWP is passive hell, and it sees that Yard is still clear. Nip have to get this entry. They have to break through Taco, and he's stalling at the back box. There's Molotovs available. They know he's there, and they're going to burn him out. Rez with the shot. Hampus follows up to stop that AWP or an S tag. Lobby King, and he's going to keep it clean as he does. 5-on-2. B can get taken, but the bomb's doubling back Lobby. That's awkward that S tag dies, but GODSENT are still dropped down lower. Why wouldn't you? You just lost ramp. Lato does realize, but he's dead immediately, and that should be the round.
It's such a shame, man, that he makes noise right at the top of the ladder because everyone, they all realize, oh, hang on a moment, someone's come back up. Sad for Taco as well. He's trying to play that little orange box like bait position, but of course, as he jiggles it, he sees them, and in his head, he's going, oh no, if I saw them, they definitely saw me. And there's that moment, of worry. I think if he had a little bit more time, maybe, wasn't feeling pressured, wasn't getting Molotov, I imagine he would have waited for that AWP to get set up in hell, played that crossfire. Instead, he's having a swing early through fear of getting Molotov. It really, kind of rolled out the red carpet at ramp.
Honestly, a round where if Taco Taco had the AWP, that could have been a lineup, it could have been a collat, like who knows. And, you know, Dumao, he is typically a very capable AWPer. It's sad to see him having a quieter day-to-day, but right now this AWP is, I think we need it in Taco's hands if Dumao's not going to be able to hit his shots, because that's outside, he's fallen now to Hampus, that's the ramp rotate, he couldn't get anything done despite it being a two-man setup, as you say. And so, yeah, maybe it is time for Taco to take the reins back on the AWP.
What about the old double up? What about if they both get off? Here you go. That's the answer.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a solution, man. Double up CT nuke. What are you going to do?
Nobody's losing if you're both winning. So here we go. Yeah, Taco's happy. Dumao's happy. But downside to the double up, mate, it is expensive. It is a first-class ticket. They need it in this round to deliver something. Phelps, oh, yeah, playing with that one way. Hampus bests him in the head-to-head. Didn't realize they were so deep, so close, and he's been doing that nigh on every round, so NIP was so ready for it.
Yeah, no gap in the outside smoke for Nip, and look at the difference, right? This is the first time they full run secret, right? It was only Hampus actually spotted, but the rest of Nip have followed, other than S-Tag in the lobby, and there's no rotates. GODSENT are going to take lobby, but it's late, it's late, and S-Tag, he's patient. He hasn't heard them, though. They're trying to clear as much as they can. Bottom won't go any further, but S-Tag, even though he's not doing anything, he's buying time. And he can late lurk, he can backstab if GODSENT want to set up on ramp for a retake. That's why GODSENT need this map control. Or they need to save, and it might be the latter option. Unfortunately for them, the save won't be so easy. Oh, he can't finish the kill. He knows they're above him. In fact, there's two men on the roof, and S-Tag not ready for that timing. Barton was ahead of where he saw Lato. Doesn't matter. Nip win the round. 14 found. And if they can take kills as well, that is harrowing to that GODSENT economy, to that expensive double you just mentioned.
Exactly. You know, at this point, if you're an IP, mate, I think you should be dedicating far more to this hunt than they currently are. Like, taking away one of these guns would almost kind of seal the deal for a victory. Lato's now dead. This is where they're looking to try and really put the nail in the coffin of GODSENT. Oh, Dumao swinging it wide. Do not lose that orb. He will get away.
That's scary.
Still, you know, you exited the round. You tried to keep 4 alive after losing that lower sight and the plant coming in. You only get out with 3. It's not the end of the world. That double AWP's still in play, right? You still got a rifle as well, so you can hope to do some damage here as you force buy up around them. But NIP, that they might have just come in and kind of the waning hours of this game to turn it all around.
You're getting nervous for a second, but they find their solutions. Couple of nice calls out of Hampus, and he has just been leading in the entry department as well, right? Like these runs outside, these runs down secret. Hampus not perturbed. And right now, 14-10. Another double AWP. It is saved, luckily enough. You want to talk opening duels? Harry Hampus, 7-2 right now. A bit redonkulous, if you ask me. No one else on Nip even positive. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. S-Tag's 4-3 as well, so that's that lobby lurk for you. Resetting in spawn. Nip are going back for smokes. Dumao is in secret. This is the best position, right? It's typically been Phelps, and Phelps has not gotten away with anything on these stairs, but the AWP, a quick shot could be nice. The Molotov makes you decide which way to go, and Dumao has no smoke. He's tucked in the corner. They might know. It may even spread. It's not up to Dumao at this point, but they are walking right by.
The molly didn't spread to him, Phelps. They're walking through this smoke into garage, and oh my God, they're all so close to each other right now. Hampus has been able to get past Phelps. This is weird. This is wacky. Yeah, they've spotted one, but the man that scares me is not Rez going into secret. It's the one pushing up into heaven. Hampus on this wrap still. The rest of NIP, they can take a moment of pause because Hampus is here to hold this A bomb site in through the heavens. Out with 3. Hampus has opened up A for NIP. And now this bomb, back of Plopsky looking to move in. Hampus, he's already done so much in this. Oh, I was hoping to do more, but Taco flies up the ladder. Plopsky's going to drop down to that B bomb site. It's the double AWPs up against Plopsky in a 2v1, but they are both low. Everyone in this round could end it in just 1 bullet. He might have the plant, but he's trapped. He's boxed into a corner. Getting wrapped through decon by Taco as well. Oh, is Plopsky ready? Oh, timing's everything. Timing is everything, and he's just got to do it on feeling alone. Doomao dead. Taco with the swing, and Plopsky locks it in. 15 for NIP as him and Hampus deliver it all.
That's his third clutch attempt, his third 1 and 2 he's been in, and he's finally done it, Harry. Converted at the most important point, the money breaker, the momentum shaker, and the 15th round, all by Plopsky. Massive for Hampus as well, right? We've been seeing him constantly try and get these lurks to work outside, going secret, crossing main, and now finally the full flank up heaven with a triple kill. Massive play out of him. The ladder shot is cool, but unfortunately it may be the final round for GODSENT. Economy in tatters. And a very commendable game for GODSENT so far. They have really put up a fight against NIP where teams have not been able to do the same. More rounds than Astralis on Nuke. They got 16-8'd, so keep that in mind, and there's more maps to be found down the barrel. Overpass up next. I say this like it's done. You'd be foolish to think so. GODSENT, one final hurrah, one final attempt to get their money back on track. We got Taco with a Nova. Doomao with the only real rifle. I don't count the FAMAS. Trash.
Man, this is pretty brutal considering, just how dominant that first half was. GODSENT pulling it all the way back and, getting it to 10 to 12. And then NIP now peeling ahead. Final chance here on Nuke for GODSENT to keep the dream alive. At least Doomao started it with a little win.
What a risky, crazy play for Doomao. If he dies, that's a one rifle lost in no man's land. Instead, it's a 5-on-4 with
oh my God,
outside
Taco.
Player gone. How often do you see Nova games?
Taco Nova ramp hold moment. Taco Nova ramp hold moment. How many can he get away with?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's damage. But that's about it. Taco's dead.
Uh-oh.
Ramp's now open, and this is going to put pressure on the rest of the gang to try and make plays. They start to move into the lobby. They want to get info. They want to get, an equalizer, anything in a spot like this. But all it's done is dig the hole deeper.
Yeah, NIP have played GODSENT like a fiddle. Think about the rounds where GODSENT have been able to walk into lobby because S-Tag's playing back in spawn. He's playing back at the back of lobby. Instead, he sits in the hut. GODSENT were never ready. NIP could have just walked into A. It would be GG. If they just walked out hut right now, the game is over. But they've gone outside. They've tried to get weird with it. And this could let them down, Harry. Even though GODSENT don't have that info, Doomao gets headshot looking hellwise.
Wait, now they're going down lower.
Yeah,
oh my God,
stack.
GODSENT are both here. Oh!
Luckily enough.
Help's dead. It's all on Lato. An MP9 clutch in the 1v4. It's so unlikely. NIP, they've got 20 seconds. He's dealt with Hampus, but that bomb's going to go up the vent, get out of danger. And so Lato's round is really just beginning. It's so unlikely that he's going to be able to win this one. Plopsky's still down on B, holding for event rotate. While that does leave like a temporary window for the 1v2, this should never be around for Lato to win.
Yeah, NIP's got to do something harrowing, something wrong, and I don't think they will. S-Tag has been on the money, but the headshot comes in. No kit, Harry, and none dropped. He's got to be quick. He's got to get the kills, and will NIP even give him the chance, the satisfaction? Lato taps the bomb. Device moves in, and it's going to be NIP to shut out GODSENT's map pick. It looked good for a moment, but NIP finally redeemed themselves on these T sides. What a great game. Overpass up next. This quarterfinal rages on.
Well, they tried, and they're going to have to try again. GODSENT with 11-4 first half. Bring this up to the point where you think, well, hey, what the heck? Maybe it could happen. But that is not the story that I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that Nuke went the way of NIP right out of the gate. So I've got Jason and Kassad here with me as well. Guys, you wanted to believe. It's like Mulder and Scully. I want to believe.
What a reference that is. Not bad.
How many people remember that?
I'm surprised. Well, yeah, it's okay. Shout out the X-Files one time. Stranger things have happened, though, Jason. Tell me about believing.
Yeah, they really have. And, man, you would have liked to have seen GODSENT have that come back and make that a little bit better. I think all they really did was kind of make the scoreline a little bit respectable. They got battered in this game. That first half was rough. They couldn't control the aggression from NIP. What was it? Hampus, S-Tag, and Device had great CT halves, 15, 16, and 17 kills, respectively, on those three players. They were just dominant. And again, it felt like what we saw against VP yesterday for GODSENT, where they were never comfortable with anything they had on the T side. They were never comfortable with what they had and what was coming next. And you could see just the game plans just fall apart.
The thing is, like, GODSENT tried many different tricks. They tried, like, fast aggression outside, fast upper hits, everything. Like, it's just, NIP was always on the right spot at the right time, especially Hampus. Hampus was like, his mobility in this CT half was amazing. He was starting secret, he was pushing T-Red, he was buying an AWP. We were expecting Device playing with an AWP, he usually does in nuke games, but Hampus was, like we see here, Hampus was the one with the AWP as well, so we can see him on ladder as well with an AWP. So a lot of mobility from him, a lot of impact tracks, a lot of like stoppages from him alone to get this 11-4 half.
He was +5 in opening kills as well, so he went out on that side, and once he got over to the T side, Hampus kept it up also, which was huge. He went 12-8 on the T side to really make sure that NIP closed this out quick and didn't let it get too sketchy. Most of this tournament, it's been Device and Rez as the guys kind of leading the way. It's great to have Hampus just spring off like this in a map in the quarterfinals.
It's good to see on NIP squad that have 3 players that can actually perform. You don't know what to expect from each of them, right? And on the T side, like you said, they made it look close, But I feel like it was the NIP realizing what they need to do after the first couple of rounds, and then once they figured it out, they just, adjusted, and it was 16-10.
It's almost like it felt to me like NIP came into this with like a very simple game plan and mindset, which is like, let's not overthink this situation. We are the better team. Let's just play a game. Everyone, you got a little bit of freedom here. Don't be afraid to make your plays when you see the opportunity. Don't be afraid, like we saw Hampus moving around the map and being aggressive at different positions. And a really cool game to see from them.
That is exactly how you should go about games like this.
But at least in a game like this, and starting to see a little bit of life out of GODSENT, does it make you think that we're going to have a little bit closer of a series, perhaps?
The thing is, like, what I liked was the fact that they tried different things. They were not scared.
They threw the whole playbook out.
Yes. They just got stopped.
They dumped it.
Not saving straps for the majors.
The only thing that I kind of didn't see happening was on that T side, kind of, readjusting a little bit, well.
Yeah.
Maybe they're aggressive outside, maybe go towards ramp, something like that. And on CT side, after the timeout, maybe we switch things up. They tried the double AWP as well, but maybe a little more aggression outside, maybe some sort of like lobby push, something like that. They were kind of too stale at some moments. And
again, we saw that, and that was kind of the conversation we had about the GODSENT VP match yesterday when they were on that 7-round losing streak to lose Mirage in the end after being up in such a big way. Was, man, it's unfortunate, the inexperience, the inability to just slow things down, calm things down, kind of move on from what hasn't been working and find something new. And obviously, at least in this one, as you said, they did try things new. They did go deep into the playbook. They switched it up, and just nothing worked.
This is where they learn.
Just clearly the better team.
That's true. That is true. The learning process for GODSENT obviously doesn't stop anytime soon with Overpass on the cards. Jason, if I said it's heating up, would you believe me?
Yeah, I trust you wholeheartedly.
Jason said he'd give me $50 if I use this live on air.
You had to do the opening that you mentioned.
Are you talking about something like this, perhaps?
Yeah.
Am I alluring you, Jason?
A little bit.
Okay, well.
Do it one more time.
Now it's done. Overpass. We want to hope that GODSENT can get their faces back in this series, because this would be kind of sad for it to all end that way, but still on a high note regardless.
I mean, coming into Overpass, it's a 50% win rate on that map for GODSENT. I don't think they enjoy it too much. I think they might have expected something like this from NIP, like if they thought it deeply. But starting on CT side will be their best, strength right here.
Not only is it a really low win percentage, they've lost their last 3 games on this map, and here are the teams they lost to: Movistar Riders, Wisla Krakow, and Fnatic.
Go on, Kassad.
Here we go.
Go on.
Movistar Riders are not the best, not the worst team on Overpass.
No, not at all.
They're not the worst team on Overpass. Fnatic is always good because Alex likes that map a lot. Wisla Krakow, I don't know about that one.
Don't know what happened there. Don't want to know.
These other two teams are
Is what
decent,
it
right?
is.
So we can just,
Let's look at a break and let's think about, collectively on our end while we're in this break, what we can do, at least if we were GODSENT going into Overpass.
Okay.
Because it's time to bounce back in a quarterfinal here at the Intel Extreme Masters. And GODSENT, well, this is their opportunity to do it. NIP, on the other hand, looking to face off G2 in the next round, just one map away from that. We'll go to a break. We'll come back with our commentators in that game that you so want to watch.
He's playing Minesweeper.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium. The complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
What's up, guys? I'm here with Patrick Essetag Hansen.
True.
Got it, mate.
You got it.
How are you settling into the Ninjas, bro?
Doing great. I mean, considering how little practice we actually had and how much, like traveling around in tournament time we've had to do with no practice is but essentially, we vocally phrased that we're looking forward to 2022, right? That's our year. That's when we're gonna, hit the ground running. So anything from here is just a bonus, and then we're gonna go back, have a break. I think Devin needs, some time off, just to, he's going through a rough patch, which he also said on Twitter, right? So just be there for him, make sure to hype him up. Try and get everything pumping. If we're all, firing each other up and firing all cylinders, then we can make it quite far here. And then I think we have a blast as well later on. So, 3 tournaments in a row with 7 days of practice. It
must be quite exhausting too, right?
It is. It's rough, but we make it work. And
you're making it work, for sure. All right, well, Patrick, thank you very much for your time, mate, and best of luck. Thank you, bro.
Thanks.
I'm coming.
Well, GODSENT, they've had a little bit of time now to go back to the drawing board to focus up and get ready for Overpass, the map pick of NIP in this series. For anyone who is just joining in, you missed a belter of an opener. NIP taking on GODSENT over on Nuke. GODSENT's map pick, it was an 11-4 first half. GODSENT winning both pistols in the series. They then go on to close that gap, to close that margin. 10-12, you're thinking, oh, GODSENT, you can make this happen. You know, we know that NIP struggle with T-sides. We know that it falls apart there, but they're able to refocus, regroup, build back into it, and they close it out with the win on the side of NIP. Now going to their map pick, there is a world where NIP could 2-0 this and move on to those semi-finals.
Yeah, it's a bit scary. I think we're going to get a bit of a sloppy Overpass. It could be fun, Harry, because for both these teams, they're both on 3 loss streaks on Overpass. You know, we talk about GODSENT recently doing really well at the ESL Pro League Conference for Season 15, right, qualifying for the next season of Pro League. They come in top 3 there, they qualify. But the one map they couldn't convert in series was Overpass. NIP no prettier either. They're on a 3-loss streak, but against far better teams, Liquid, Astralis, Na'Vi. You can put an asterisk on it if you want. But NIP looking to outclass the Brazilians, looking to outlast GODSENT as we get into the quarterfinal.
Yeah, it's a T-side start for NIP. What this means, if you're GODSENT, this is where you need to build a damn fortress. Because by the time you get into that second half of play, you're going to have NIP putting their best foot forward. GODSENT, really, I'm eyeing up something like an 11-4 half here if they want to close this out. It's a fast little B-pop from NIP. Running into the site, and GODSENT open up with a kill from Latto on the short side. Hampus hung out to dry, and Dumau will get the better of him. Oh, no. There's Device dead as well, and so suddenly the numbers start to dwindle for NIP.
Oh, the backstab, they're getting flanked. NIP now trapped Popsky in graffiti, and he can't clutch it out, not again. Lovely little round from GODSENT. And yeah, they do the heavy mid setup, but as soon as they see that B-rush coming in, it's a triple con, rotate, retake. And Device, the death to Taco and CT, that is everything, right? Not only would it meant they wouldn't be collapsed upon by the flank up short and the guy rotating down from A, but also NIP, as you could see, were trying to run through B, back up to the A site, avoiding the flank. They're not able to do so, contained inside the B-bomb site. And GODSENT, that's 3 out of 3 pistol rounds locked in.
Yeah, 4 spy up for NIP. They're going to keep it pretty low and slow in this one. 2 through con, bit of presence over in middle that now looks to back up and get out of there. And maybe they group for the B hit. After feigning a bit of this control down in the connector and mid, trying to make it look like they're establishing a default, well, that was never the case. Because GODSENT is so passive back on the A side of the map, ooh, they're going to have fast rotations at the very, very least. But that push over at short, that's gifted guns into the hands of these NIP players.
Yeah, not only do GODSENT have all the pistols, but in the last map they converted both times, even against 4 spy from NIP with rifles. So you don't want to start losing them now, and Barton will make sure that is not to happen. M4 dropped, but if Hampus wants it, he's got to go into the firing line, and that's a lovely shot. Where's the gun? He's got it. 1v2 and no chance, no room. Latto repeaks and GODSENT do convert the anti-eco yet again. One more for NIP before the guns come out. So GODSENT, this fortress, is getting built, Harry, brick by brick.
Yeah, I do really, really like how GODSENT clearly put a lot of effort into these pistols. Like, it's no fluke that every time we see this team, we end up talking about their pistol stats, their ability to show us cool stuff in these pistol rounds. It really feels like Taco's put a bit of a bit of extra attention to detail into how they approach pistols. Because, mate, you think about it, they are like 2 to 3 free rounds if you're able to pick it up in the conversions every game.
There's no other way to get free rounds in this game, right, other than breaking money. We had a hero AK for Device going full send, but he only gets 1 kill in mid and gets shut down. Still NIP hold an advantage, and with guns dropped, these players should leave B, yes. Don't want to get smoke spammed again, but also do want to get their hands on some guns. GODSENT are gaining info by the second, though, pushed up on B. Phelps, I mean, he's not even in the A site. He's trying to time himself out of connector to get back and hold it. He knows that NIP can walk up long, and so Con would leave him out of the action. He's very fortunate that NIP are taking their sweet time. They're in this little bubble, this pocket of air between Taco and Phelps. Barton's gone for the safe rotate. They've regrouped, they cleaned up A, and they just need to be patient as Taco sets up on the flank.
Yeah, Taco could end this whole round, but it all comes down to whether or not he goes mid or if he checks long.
Oh, no.
And on this mid timing, it could be so unfortunate, but he's just gone back in time. All right, Taco's still alive. And
now Nip know they're walking into a stack.
Yeah, this is where it gets scary, right? Because suddenly you have that dawning realization, well, wait, if he's there, then they're probably here. And so Phelps going to be that first point of contact. That's when Barton swings out, locks it in. The 3-0 comes through. But now we have the guns looking to get purchased up for NIP. You know, I think if you are GODSENT here, you win this round, you get off to that potential 5-0 start, right? That is crisp. That is exactly what you want. As we say, we know these T-sides are a problem for NIP. We know this is where they struggle the most. And so I think GODSENT need to take full advantage of that if they want to long this out to a 3-map series.
Absolutely. AWP in early as well, right? We talked about how this is a free-flowing AWP team. Lato's taking his first of the series. Third man in GODSENT to don that weapon today. And yeah, I mean, this is a very scary map once CT start building money, getting AWPs, getting rifles, because it can be fairly obvious at times where the Ts are heavy set up. It's very easy to get info on CT overpass, right? Long sight lines up on the A site. We already see this boost, this jump, and also the door nade, which gives you full con info if you're GODSENT. Already, these have been players pushing through Monster Tunnel. We saw it last round, so the info is there for GODSENT, and this round is no exception.
Oh, hang on a moment. Yeah, that was S-Tag. Oh, hang on a sec. What a response. Taco and Dumal. They anticipate something might be awry. Now look at this. Hampus is creeping up through short. There's a lot of contact plays attempting to get made from NIP. And Hampus would love to reap the reward of this finally, right? Like, get away with a kill from it. But instead, it's GODSENT finding success all across the map. These attempts at striking timings, making contact plays happen, they've not worked out for NIP.
Oh, dear.
Phelps is on.
He swapped.
God.
Oh, dude, Lato might die because of this.
No,
Phelps is stabbed.
Yeah, it's weird, but it shouldn't mean too much in the grand scheme of things. Phelps even is starting to be like, what do you reckon the odds are? I crossed him in the smoke, eh, bud? And they're like, turns around, there he is. 4-0, and now, right, if you're GODSENT, this is exactly what we were saying. Like, this is a very good chance of getting that 5-0 head start. This is a really nice spot to find yourself in. You were talking about information earlier on, how for the CTs in particular it feels so good. Well, this is where, you know, you think that Dumal was having a bit of a rough time with the AWP. I hope we get a competent AWPer stepping up here, right? Lato already hitting some shots. Taco was looking good with it earlier on. Reason is, mate, it's so good to just go through the motions, AWPing on this map. You can win games with this AWP if you apply it correctly.
Just shots back up, but he didn't back up. Now he finally does. Almost gets caught by Hampus, and he may still. Lato with a flick shot. Dirty. Phelps is pushing long, and Nipper holding on, but it's only Deagles. Phelps trying to churn up with the A1S. He's still committed. He's still trying to get these kills. And why not? Plopsky's got one gun at least grabbed from the body of Dumal, but otherwise, it's a very slow start for NIP. Plopsky's coming back up con to try and assist on this mid-take. They know the AWP was here, but as you said, motions being gone through, he's backed up to the bomb site. So NIP are going to waste ample time clearing dead angles. Luckily, they have the utility to do so. 4 smokes with 4 players up in this eco. They can run a fake, they can run an exec. They're just going to drop down to B instead, wanting to put distance between themselves and any AWPs. But again, GODSENT just peeking monster. These guys take every bit of information down lower and they see, I think, that bomb, which was on device. So no rotations yet, as NIP haven't committed down into the tunnel, but that AWP can come in through heaven soon enough. NIP do have the smoke for it, lining it up now. Barton hasn't seen these players, but he knows what's coming.
Yeah, this is kind of weird that he still hasn't seen anyone. And his timing on that flash turn is just brutal. A millisecond too early. Taco's got to hold the line. All 3 at Monster. His work cut out for him. The AWP rotating up into heaven, but the smoke wrecks Taco. There's Lato chiming in, and we said that this AWP could win you the game. Well, He pops off and certainly goes the distance to win them the round. It's 5-0 for GODSENT. As promised, signed, sealed, and delivered.
That's a massive difference as well, right? Because you think back to Nuke and you think back to Dumao having a struggle city on the AWP and the fights that mattered with Dumao. It was him v Hampus outside on those lurks. When Hampus would get away with lurks, dropping secret, wrapping heaven, going main, those are the rounds NIP would pick up on the T side, and it was all down to him killing the AWP round after round after round, no matter who held it. And so having Latto playing this well, hitting these shots, that's a really big reassurance for GODSENT. Missed mid Molly, and so they have crossed playground, but Latto learned the timing last time around. He gets back, already scoped to the party, or posted at least. Double setup in toilets. SK-esque. Nipper crawling up connector.
Yeah, they're once again just going for this kind of timing-based play where they're hoping they can find holes in this defense, ways to get the pick before they give too much away.
Good luck, Phelps.
Yeah, Phelps is left forward in the toilet alone. They're wrapping him. Oh, how does he get out with one there? That is more than he should have been able to get away with. Latto is in a bit of a rough spot as well. They can wrap him at long. They can push him on short. They can push him through toilets. He is freaking out right now, but he's going to try and seize this gap momentarily back into the site. And so Latto is safe for the time being. Meanwhile, look at Connector, mate. Look at the boys in Barton and Dumao. They're both on this flank coming up through the short side while Taco and co hold down A. That's beautiful. Out of GODSENT. Wonderful little wrap up into mid. They've got the read. They hold the line. No idea how folks like Phelps get away with the 1-for-1 there. Like, let's be clear.
Yeah.
That should have been the opener for NIP, untraded, and they should have been spilling into the site. But he gets that. It gives Latto this little breathing room. Taco's rotation. You know, he's like mollying the toilet to stop him getting chased down. There was just some wonderful protocols out of GODSENT. You had that short control taken earlier on. Those players then wrap up through Connector. And this is nice. Yeah. This is what we wanted out of GODSENT CT side.
And even with a change from NIP, right, because we've been talking about the information that can get gained on CT side, right? Well, for NIP, they've done a lot of contact plays, be it walking up long or walking up monster with one flash. And, you know, GODSENT, they actually relied on nice crossfires in both bomb sites to win these rounds. But now, NIP, a telegraphed play, a very loud and proud play towards A. And GODSENT, with that knowledge, run up connector, like you said, and flank. They're just so aware, and they react immediately. An attempt to the boost, that's full NA. They were doing the triple boost in spawn.
Want to catch the like short,
someone jumping, throwing the short volley or running towards monster out of spawn. It didn't matter. We didn't get to see it, but it's one where, was it Junior doing it back at Summit for one of the RMRs? And getting away with some madness there. I like the GODSENT are throwing that in. They've got tricks up their sleeve. And they've got reason to believe 6-0 and NIP on an eco. They're going to try and get these Deegs whirring, but Dumao put him on an AK, and he's lethal as hell. 5-on-4. NIP gets spotted on long. They reroute toilet. A few flashes if they want to try and get this AWP off the angle, but I'm waiting to see what Latto can accomplish in this round.
Putting this AWP in his hands has been such a good choice so far as well. Just a fresh pair of eyes, right? You kind of touched upon it back on Nuke. How with this squad, like we see AWPs on almost everybody. They can all do it, but right now, I was doing it the best. Holding on to Dice. There's 3 here for GODSENT already. They've got the read. They're one step ahead again. Plopsky dead as the executes, hoping to come through. And now it's just these remaining Deegs softened up, finished off. Only S-Tag left. 7-0 for the GODSENT side. It's flawless, 5 alive. Beautiful Counter-Strike being played. We said they needed to erect a fortress on this CT half, and they are not disappointing. They're at the barricades, and they're not letting you in.
Yeah, there's alligators in the moat, and NIP are getting churned up. Both bomb sites, some sexy crossfires on top right now on GODSENT. This is lovely. Harry, you prayed to the gods of Brazil to give us a 3-mapper, to give us a reason to believe in GODSENT in this map, and they certainly seem to be answering your call right now. Lato back to middle. We've got a deeper setup. Look at the confidence that GODSENT are amassing, right? Oh, that's a spot for Rez. Sick jump off of the little slide there. He sees that GODSENT got party. And I don't know that if they know that he knows. Does the info go both ways? It might not matter. He's scared of a heavy A presence, so they duck down into a quick B pop. This is a perfect reaction for Nip. The one man in the bomb site is gone. And in many a round, you could even justify a save. GODSENT might poke their head in, see what they can get away with, but Hampus, look at the space being taken. A Heaven post plant. Nip are controlling everything right now. Oh dear. Forget playing post plant, he's hunting.
He got legged. And then headshot by Barton. All right, well, look, you're just going to get out of there now, aren't you? You let them, you give them the respect in this one. Even though you've had that flawless round in the round prior, you don't want to throw it all away going for a retake where you're so far removed from the round, right? You would have to clear all of CT, all of Heaven, and quite frankly, the fact that Nip is still feeding you, trying to hunt these players down, it just feels unnecessary for Nip. It's more punishing.
Yeah, well, it is more punishing. The results maybe aren't there, but the reason they're doing it is, how else are you going to get into this T side? If you're going to have GODSENT continuing to have max money, to keep 5 alive rounds, to buy up double orbs, to have this util, like, you're never going to get into the T side of this map. You have to be, throwing a little bit at GODSENT. Nip, they cool it off at the end. They keep 3 alive, and that's all that matters. But I understand the feeling the need to hunt. It's going to be a long crawl back to first place for Nip if they're gonna get there. But nice orbing from Lato still. And a great call from Hampus, supplemented by the info Rez gets. He sees that mid setup and he realizes likely that's not just one-man party. This is a heavy A attack. B is weakened. Just get involved. And so Nip go running into the B bomb site in a one-man hold.
That was like this was like the first example of kind of like Taco trying to flex the calls, almost trying to get ahead of it on the side of GODSENT. And then because of the info Rez gets, Hampus kind of countering that, right? Like counter-calling the whole idea. Wonderful stuff on his part to call for that immediate B play, reading into this idea that it is a heavy mid presence. But I love the call out of Taco on the GODSENT side regardless. Like, if that info didn't come in, Nip have been playing this slow default towards middle. You were going to challenge it with 4 and then have time to rotate back. And look, they're so scared by it. They're so scared by this info.
No way.
No. Oh, he was ready for it. He tried.
Rez won't make that jump for the rest of the map, I promise you that. Oh. Goes for the swing, but it is a miss.
This is where, like, you can start to feel like the mind games start, right? Because finally Hampus has been able to outcall, outposition the likes of GODSENT, and now he's hoping he can hold on to that feeling and do it again. He's trying to, like, steal that momentum back from Taco and GODSENT on the other side.
You can't blame him. Think about his numbers on Nuke, right? Like, we were like 18 rounds deep, and he was 7-2 in opening kills. This guy was crafting rounds. He was finding entries time after time, and this is no exception. 5-on-4 Phelps, I love it. Going in front of the smoke, but the flash is perfect, and Hampus, another opener, deciding rounds for GODSENT, but Nip could overcomplicate it. GODSENT haven't moved. They say if they go A, they get the round, but we aren't moving. Stuck in their position. This info from Hampus is everything. The bomb is about to pop B, and it still can. They don't need to rotate all the way around through the unknown with 30 seconds. They can just wait for Hampus. He can flank all the way, but Nip, they've got connector, they've cleared it out, they trust in their in-game leader, and they run back to the MTA site. This is a done round. GODSENT will have to save, but will Hampus let them is the question.
He's going to start running a little bit, right? Because he wants to close this gap. He doesn't just want his flank to be, null and void, and the save still comes in. And so here is Hampus, 3 in the round. And this is what we say. This is where, like, that mind game, that head-to-head, that real battle of brains trying to outperform one another, it is going to get kicked up a notch. Last round, it was the calling from Hampus that was enough to win it. This round, he's not just outpositioned GODSENT, he's outperformed them as well. He gets both the openers over towards A, and he very much was the reason that NIP put this second round on the board.
Yeah, this is where GODSENT need to keep their head in the game, right? This is something you like to say, Harry. A game can't be won in the first 8 rounds, so a 7-0 lead means nothing if Nip start to find form. And with Hampus getting this kind of impact, they certainly could be. Second round locked in for the Swedes. GODSENT get away with 2 guns, but you can already see Nip, doing the damage to the economy, slow and steady, burning through that cash reserve. excellent round for Hampus. And you know, we're still a map and a bit in, Harry, and we just haven't really seen Rez. You know, it's one game he's the best player in the entire world. The other game he's a null factor. There's still time though. Another AWP for Lato. Hampus smokes the Molotov and gets into playground.
Ooh, Device.
Oh.
Jeez, yeah, right. Fast up through his short. Hoping he could have used this AWP to make an incision, to get that opening and apply a lot of pressure to GODSENT. You had numbers outside of B such that if that was provided, you could have even looked to just spill on in. With it not coming through, you're going to go back to the drawing board here.
Maybe they boost off the back of this, right? You're trying to force a player out of position with a Molotov. You know they can't be right below you, and so they can't be anywhere on short, but right here. Rez. Gotta watch out, Taco's re-aggressing. Luckily not gonna fall into thinking this is totally empty.
Plopsky, this is big, waiting in con. They're playing this double setup to counter the short aggression. That is beautiful out of NIP.
Yeah. Baited them into pushing there.
And so now this little B pop, it is well and truly back on the cards. Lato's AWP, well, we'll fire off for the first. The nade's going to do even more follow-up damage, making it a bit easier for Taco to pounce out. And suddenly it's flipped on its head again. Device and S-Tag still alive, still in this one. Oh, there's Device dead. And only S-Tag remains. Jeez. Yeah, he does need a gun to do this.
And even then, not doable at all. Taco locks it in. Lovely little B anchor work. And again, just not playing until his teammates take contact. All the sightlines, all the attention from NIP getting drawn away as they try an entry into the B bomb site. That was a 5-on-3, but only for a moment.
This game, like more so than any in recent memory, really is like feeling almost like a chess match between IGLs, right? That boost came in, and I think it was Rez pushed up over towards short, or maybe it was Hampus actually, pushed up on the short side. He heard like the jump, you know, the little fleshy like noise. God, that's awful.
Flesh.
But he heard the flesh noise, and and that gave it all away. They knew the boost. They baited them into the short peak. But then Taco's whole response to that was, well, if we double up short and die, they commit to B. The AWP's already here in CT. It was like they're both trying to be one step ahead of each other. Really, really cool scenes. Now this round, Phelps is surely dead. Oh my God, how is he always good for one in these positions? Lato's flash has helped, and Phelps has taken out two. That is more than you could have asked of him there. Not an easy spot to be in at all. It takes Device to reel him in a little bit, but it's still GODSENT in this 4-on-3 man advantage. All the info because of Taco's push at the B bomb site. Both IGLs being so proactive in trying to get ahead. But right now it's Taco, a brainier of the two for the time being.
If this is a chess match, someone call Magnus Carlsen, because I don't know, is Device as a solo world champion good enough, or do we need another? We're about to find out. He's got 1 kill already. AWP's on his angle. Device moves up. It's another contact play for Nip. It's all they've been able to do. It's all they can resort to. Lato, tight shot, but he has been consistently hitting these when required, and there's no flash yet. 30 seconds and 3 CTs here. There it is, perfect peak. Rez clears out one man, but there's a second on the truck, and he's going to save the life of Lato. Barton stepping up, it's S-Tag, 1-on-3, and not much time to do it. No one even giving him the kill, and this is so frustrating. If he wants to cross, the AWP's on him. Luckily, S-Tag grabs that kill, and Lato mollied off, lets him plant for CT. Good awareness from S-Tag. Now needs to care dumpster. It's being wrapped up short side, and S-Tag takes the second, but he doesn't know the third. He hasn't realized. Taco's coming in for the back, and S-Tag is open.
Taco just missed it as well. They both just missed one another.
No idea.
Oh, S-Tag is looking completely the wrong way. And Taco's going to find him. He even threw a flashbang over from short, but it I guess from where it pops, it sounds like that's come up from the B site, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If that actually was something that Taco planned for in advance, that's mega brain, bro. Like, we genuinely might need to check this guy out because he's like sitting there, 1,000 IQ or something.
I mean, all he did was throw it over the truck wall to flash Lato out from dumpster. But yeah, like you said, you can throw that flash from down B. He could have been on the stairwell. S-Tag seemed so aware, and if you're in that position and someone on Nip disagrees, they're going to say, I don't know if he was there. Careful, he might be short. No one disagreed. No one chimed in. Nip, hook, line, and sinker fell for it, and a retake out of GODSENT. A nice attempt at the 1-on-3 for Nip, but it means nothing. And now, again, Harry, this time, GODSENT want to get involved. Phelps pushed down middle, and Rez, not a second to relax in this round. Not going to be hanging around on the slide. Last time Nip saw this aggression, they just popped into B, but this time GODSENT have more of a defense here. 2 players in position, plus the flank out Con, and it's a lineup for Barton. Headshot through Hampus. Here they come through Monster. Molly hits him from his teammate. That's a bit of a sell down the river from Taco, but he'll luckily pick up the pieces. Device in a clutch of his own. How much has he got?
Mate, he's getting wrapped from all sides. They're on short, they're on Monster, they're in heaven. Everywhere you look, someone from GODSENT is there to take you down, but that is a blinder hit by Device. Is he ready for heaven? Oh, the spam, he heard it. He taps the bomb, hoping this is going to bait something out, but GODSENT are both repositioning in this moment. Device does not get the information he was searching for. He's got to go get this on his own merits. Phelps is on a rotation all the way up Con.
Okay.
Running away.
It's just regrouping.
Yeah, they're looking to group up together, but this is also confusing for Device, right? He was aware that someone was around here towards this Monster/short area.
He's scavenged some grenades, but he can smoke their site, he can get the plant. Dumao probably won't commit until Phelps is here to play together.
Smoke on the bomb. It's the full commitment out of Device, so he's given a chance to play the 1v2 up in heaven. Contact's about to get made. Device good for 2 out of the 3 needed, but it's Phelps to trade and keeps this scoreline looking real pretty for GODSENT. They don't get flustered in that. You know, when Device hits that blinder of a shot onto you to open up the clutch, those are the moments where maybe you get in your own head, you overcompensate, maybe you play too safe. But no, not GODSENT, mate. I love that decision out of Phelps. Goes back, groups up with Dumao. They don't give... Well, actually, no, sorry. They give Device plenty of room, but they never give him chances at those 1v1s, and that's perhaps the most important part.
Yeah, it's just playing the trade potential, right? Like, if he hangs around at B, we saw what Device went up to. He was trying to find Phelps. He was wrapping. He, basically re-wrapped Monster in the time that Phelps went for the full rotate. So, yeah, Device essentially wastes time, but he doesn't know that. Really nice play from Phelps. And so many clutch attempts coming close now. Tag into Device, neither able to convert. They both times get it to the 1-on-1, but GODSENT anti-clutches right now. Run boost, and now they have no idea Taco's crossed, but he is blind. That molly buys time. Dumao taking a shot, and they run through the Molotov with a smoke. Barton again lines up 2. There's a team kill, and Nip, nothing can go right. Harry, you said GODSENT needed an 11-4 CT side to hold strong, and Nip's map pick, well, they may go one step further.
It genuinely might. This is exactly what we needed. If GODSENT wanted to long this out to 3.
An ancient to close.
Ancient to close, man. I know. I'm so excited.
Be more apt.
Right, we're still a little ways away, but one thing I will say, right, if you're looking at this and you're GODSENT now, if you can milk this for everything that it's worth, and 13-2.5, you have won and converted every pistol in the series so far, right? At that point, I'm looking at GODSENT, I'm saying, mate, they've won this map.
Yeah.
So if you can get to 13-2, things are looking real good for GODSENT.
Why stop now? Phelps, he was quiet back on Nuke, but he's come alive here on Overpass. Dumao's even getting involved. Haven't seen him on the AWP, and it's been a pleasure. He's been tapping out with the AK all day. Does eventually get overwhelmed by the double peak, but GODSENT just want to get involved, man. Can you blame them? Nothing's stopping them, but the flash might. They don't clear him. Phelps, even getting one there is fantastic. Nip had him split on a skewer. And Device wants to tuck into dinner. 1-on-3. AWP ready. And Device, he loves a pre-fire. Has he got any more?
It literally looks like the same kind of shot to have hit, right? Like, oh, it's clean. Device would need the ace in this 1-on-3. Now turn 1-on-2. Both Taco and Barton are a little ways away. They're grouped up over here in Connector, but once more Taco is calling to play the trade game. To play the numbers game and keep it together. At least from Con, you've got a quick rotation to either bomb site. No matter where Device goes, he's not going to find any 1v1s. And the rotate will be instant.
Yeah, they don't realize how deep he's gotten. Again, it's fine to play the 2v1 to regroup, but Device is wrapping once more. Oh, he saw him. Oh, 1v1. It's what Device wanted, but he couldn't get the kill. GODSENT, 12-2, that 13 scoreline looms in the distance, but not too distant, not too far. Coming up right now, GODSENT look unstoppable.
Man, and you know, like, we talk about how the T-sides for NIP have been lackluster, have been very underwhelming, definitely where they hit their biggest struggles. We said that if GODSENT were able to, you know, we said erect the fortresses, well, mate, the flags are raised. You know, Brazil has staked their claim. The fortress is open for business.
Someone get me a flight to Gotland. I need me some cement for my fortress. I hear they have it in high supply.
Oh, man.
Oh, Phelps caught out this time.
Finally. You know, last time we saw Hampus open up a round, that was actually the recipe to success for NIP, if you remember. Oh, that time ago. It was Hampus to crack the round open, and he even went on to close it out as well. Can he do that again? Hampus, oftentimes, liking to get left all alone once he gets this open. And once he gets this space, he's going to call for everyone else to go group up on the other side of the map. He'll say, look, I'll work this. Almost like a happy lurk IGL in that sense. As he's leaning towards the bathrooms. But Taco, we've said how these two, mate, it's like a chess game between the two of them. He's wrapping the other IGL in the toilets, looking for him. It's weird on the timing. It is weird. It's gone past Hampus. And if Hampus is going to move into A, he could clear this entire thing. Instead, Taco doesn't elect to play Trigger Discipline. They know now that he's gotten past Hampus, and so suddenly Hampus thinks he's got room opened up on this A-bomb site. This is so peculiar. Hampus could be in pole position to put a third on the board for NIP.
They're both open. As soon as he gets heaven, he's won the round.
This, oh man, Hampus. Just don't have your Tarek moment. This needs to be clean. There's Doom out dead. Lato's suddenly having to turn on a dime. He realizes what's wrong. He realizes what's happened to the timing that's been hit. And so once more, Hampus is the man to find a round for NIP. Just Taco left in the 1v4. And with Hampus still holding on to heaven, Taco has got his work cut out for him.
Just delaying the inevitable. Taco re-smoked. He's going to go right through. Now they know footsteps are plenty, and Nip are going to quad peek him to find a third. It's not pretty. It's not nice. Maybe it's enough. We'll have to find out. Stick with us. This quarterfinal continues after the break.
Hey Future Pros, back on Overpass today with another T-sided smoke. This one is thrown from spawn and lands in the doorway to bathrooms.
upon this before heading over to a break. Currently, GODSENT have won and converted every pistol round in this series. If they're able to do that now, they are on their way to a winner and a third map.
It's a similar pistol, right? A quick B pop. Nip did the same. The only difference is Nip are stacked to the 9s. 4 in the bomb site. Plopsky's even activating to flank. He might be able to cut down this bomb on the short tunnel. Estag's called for help, but he won't be able to even get that smoke out before he's dead. Device in the middle of the site, and Barton Blind hits the head. It's Plopsky burning out. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And we know GODSENT like to boost heaven. Even though it's not nuke, they still do it. Up the rafters, wrapping Hampus because he's got the headshot, but he knows there's more in store.
Yeah, this will have boost, though. It's not going to find you the impact you want with that bomb not being down. Taco's instead trying to run and fight Hampus in CT. That's where Rez swings from the short side.
Nice.
Steals the round back, and so finally NIP are able to win a pistol.
Hampus has been the hero of this series for Nip. He's the reason they're even still in this map, right? It's his entries that put them on the board with their first round. It's his 3K at the back of the B bomb site that keeps them alive here. And yeah, it's a necessary pistol for Nip if they didn't want to just ride off Overpass and go on into Ancient. My goodness. GODSENT don't want to get ahead of themselves, but finally a pistol round lost. First time for everything.
You know, if you want to, I'm hoping we can get a bit more out of guys like Estag, right? Normally a little quieter in those T-halves. Hello, 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 GODSENT, fast speed, Pop Taco is in. And now he's gone as well. Barton and Lato, a killer piece. They're trying to flood NIP in at the B. Rez on for a triple. Ooh. And Hampus will lock that in. It still gets pretty close, but NIP see that round through. That was the force buy out of GODSENT.
Yeah, it's a confident buy, right? They believed in the B rush again. They got it on a 2-on-2 into a stack in the pistol. So hell, come in with a little more utility, a little more oomph. Maybe there's a chance. Taco pushed a double molly, 2 separate Molotovs, not together. But yeah, it's not going to work for GODSENT. Close round. Now the Felico and then the guns. Nip. I mean, if you're a threat here, there's no reason to not believe, to not be hyping up the team. Come on, guys, you got this. 30-round game at the end of the day. And if you want to support your favorite team, either or, there's rooms in the fan cams. IEM.gg/fancam. Get in here. Get on the stream. 5-12. GODSENT double force. They are so confident.
Okay.
This could dig them a hole if it doesn't work, though. It's a round that you won't regret now, but maybe in 10 more, you'll wonder why you did it. There's nothing wrong with having some self-belief.
Yeah. You know, this is this could be one of these moments, man. It's like Bitcoin, if you sold at 180, right? Felt like a good thing in the moment. You still made a bunch of money, but then it's like, oh, hindsight, horrible. And this is what could happen to GODSENT here if they're not careful. It's either these decisions that make or break a game.
Yeah, who do you think influenced this by? Would it be Harry, Moneybags, Russell?
No.
I hear GODSENT stocks are at an all-time high right now.
Yeah, right now. Oh, but Device. He's shorting them. He is wrapping around on the short side. And oh no, Device locking it in for NIP. Only Dumao left. The Device might be at 5 points of health. That hasn't stopped him from tearing through the ranks of GODSENT, forcing some respect out of this, you know, the Brazilian squad as an eco now definitely has to come through.
Yes, please, GODSENT. You know, they're feeling the burn of the T side of Overpass. I understand it. It's never fun. No one likes it. Nipper, a great example. Hell, they picked this map. They could barely get on the board in their T side. So GODSENT learning the hard way. You know, back-to-back forces, it screams confidence, but reality setting in now. And I hope to see Glocks and Deagles in this next round. And that's exactly what we get. Full Deags, a little more loss bonus, right? So they can put some armor in, this and that, here and there. But really, it should be Nip starting to find form. You don't want to let these boys warm up.
Yeah, this is your chance if you're an IP to undo some of the damage of those earlier forces where, you know, you did sustain casualties, you did lose players, and take a couple of clean rounds in a row.
That's better than Devices, I think. Bit of vengeance, huh?
Yeah, that's what you were hoping for, at least. But these Deagles, mate, when they're in the hands of these Brazilians, mate, they have a nasty bite to them, don't they? Phelps wrapping the long toilets while Dumao is still working middle. Their trusty Deegs have not let them down so far. And hell, even one more kill here has some pretty big ramifications in the long run, potentially. If you want to get ahead of this game, the money is the way to do it. And the way to get ahead of the money is to ensure there's a lot of rebuys on the back of rounds like this. You'll take 2 at the end of it. It's 7 on the board for NIP, that 5-round gap between these squads. This is where we see, do GODSENT widen the margins once again, or NIP on for the comeback?
Yeah, it's not all due to this double force, because the one benefit of this double force is it's delaying your loss bonus, right? So coming into your first gun round, you are going to have the orb. You're going to, if you want it, you're going to have everything you need. Your buy is going to be amazing. So the worry is this game can very quickly close up. We saw the struggles on T-side for NIP, and if GODSENT can't find their first gun round, suddenly you're talking 2-for-1s all the way through, unless you're getting bomb plants. Then it's 9-12. Then it's 11-12. Then you're losing. And that can all happen so quick before you realize it. GODSENT don't want to let go of the baton. 7 rounds for NIP. Orp. Dumao is hesitating, but really Barton had more money, so someone else should have bought it, and so he shall not. Device does have his yet again. Getting good form now out of the supporting cast of NIP, right? Rez has woken up. Hampus was influential on the T side and to win the second half pistol. And Device is standing tall as well. None of these being good signs for GODSENT. Hampus with the late boost, crouch, and up he goes with the door knocked off. He can clear can't barrel scene, and Phelps was right below. Hampus never knew how close he got. Now they're still going to try and pop out B with this kill. Essetag doesn't know, but the shadow gives it away, and he finds one. Helped out, doubled up through the wall. It's ridiculous stuff. Nip up 3-2. Dumao doesn't have a smoke for the Molotov. It bounces far. It goes through it towards jail, so he can't commit. He has to wait. Barton smoked off as well, and GODSENT called to a pause.
That's heartbreaking. And NIP, man, they credit where credit is due to someone like Hampus here. He was able to read into this. They stacked 4 strong down at that B bomb site early on with Device anchoring A on that AWP. That is the kind of versatility that this guy gives you, right? Having Device with that, he's a safe pair of hands. He's not going to overplay his hand. And so you feel fine leaving that A-bomb site under his watch.
These are nice position changes for Nip, right? They've peeled back, both players moonwalking into a safe position. What this means is GODSENT have to commit. They will not be allowed to find a pick. They've got to win the 2v2 inside of the site. And luckily enough, GODSENT have taken the appropriate space, the one place not being watched. Nip. They're hoping they can bait them in with S-Tag, and Plopsky can try and stop the plant, but GODSENT are silent right now.
Okay, there's the opener. There's the opener. Now Device is being called for. They need him to come on down. They need him to help out because S-Tag's pinned and S-Tag's stuck, backed into this corner. Device, hoping he's going to get given an opportunity. He has just missed that timing. He has just missed that timing. Now Barton could get sidelined if they're not careful. Oh, yeah, there's Device dealing with him. Dumao's going to swing, but runs out of ammo. That is such a shame.
That would have been it. One more bullet.
He brings both players down low. And if he dealt with S-Tag there, chance to just play the time, get into the site, Device, 2 shots away from certain death, that could have very easily been a Dumao round.
He was dead on. He would have at least had the 1v1, right? Who knows who wins at V Device, but that's a shame to see Essetag. Massive round, even so. That double killer monster with the FAMAS wall banging out the second. Ouchie. GODSENT. Gonna need a plaster right now. Nip. Cracking away at this fortress. Breaching the tower, breaking down the barricades, 8-12, step by step. But a bomb plant for GODSENT allows rebuys until the end of time, so small victories. It's not going to get any easier, though. Every round, Nip are picking up steam, picking up faith.
Fast set into short again. Surely it's not another just B explosion. NIP are genuinely not ready for it this time around. They only had 2 in the site, and so they're very, very passive, backed up. This gives room to Phelps, whose entries have been on point. Barton follows up. Plopsky still in the sight, still here. They're running him up, they're running all around him, and now he's in the back line, trying to tear this away, trying to make something happen. It's Plopsky on for a double. And hell, I mean, he's here, he's fighting whether he wants to or not. He's going to try and give the round a go, the stick. 5 seconds, he's on it, and Lato shuts him down from short. GODSENT, little fast B-pop, back to back. They throw it at you, and the second time around, Nip are not ready for the haymaker. No. Phelps, incredible entries once again, man. He is owning this B site right now. You need 4 players there to keep Phelps under lock and key.
Especially with that pace. I mean, like you said, you know, Nip were not calling for that one. They were thinking surely GODSENT will move away, but GODSENT have just been incessant about this B site, only going A on that eco round. They have otherwise just been rushing B. And why stop? It's working. Nip, in a weird buy, Estag hit with the orb through that little crack in con. He's down to 10. Double orb, and neither of them on device, it's worth noting. He wants to get involved. He has spawned for middle. Pushed up with the M4 Phelps. He was doing a lot of this on his CT side alone. He fakes footsteps back, and then he runs forward. Oh my god, you could tell he wanted to spam that smoke. One step ahead. And GODSENT, still heavy B control on the other side, but they've got all the info. A little jump spot. Dumal sees off the top of the boost, and Taco has an entry as well. GODSENT, why stop now?
Yes, GODSENT. Yes, they're inside of B. They're running it down. Plopsky once again, only defender, and he'll get brushed aside. Dumal deals with him, and Rez is left saving this AWP. GODSENT looking to take us to 14, looking to get there flawlessly as well. And with this victory going their way, perhaps most importantly, most important of all, they break NIP's money up against this scoreline. That is brutal for Nip, but this is the golden ticket for GODSENT.
What's so cool about some of these individuals is like we sometimes look at AWPers and they're not capable riflers, or they're not tier 1, you know, they're tier 1 AWPers but they're not tier 1 riflers, and that can sometimes hamstring you when you don't have the money. But because of GODSENT having this roster of star-studded, or you know, young guns who can use whatever weapon they want, they can AWP, they can rifle. You know, Dumal, we saw him have a weak game on the AWP, so it goes to the hands of Lato, who usually plays on this map. By the way, Barton's got it now. That means all 5 players have AWPed in this series already. But on top of that, it means, yeah, if you're having a weak game with the AWP, if you're having a bad day, you're still so capable to swap out. Dumal just runs into B, gets the double entry, and it's a done deal. Nice check from Phelps too. And this is, I mean, that's based off nothing but intuition, but experience.
You just think about it, like Phelps is like genuinely rolling back the years right now. These last 3 rounds have all come at the hands of him getting these opening kills for GODSENT, right? It's just remarkable scenes. You got that double kill over towards B in a round that they did end up losing, but it's all on his back that it even gets close. Then they go back to another fast B play. Once more, Phelps is the man to put up that opening kill and create all the space. That round there, he up and leaves B, which has been his territory up until that point. And as we all remember, spams device out, pokes the bear. Well, now NIP, they've actually decided to force buy around this hero AWP. They are all in, all the marbles.
So GODSENT have had 5 players use the AWP. Nip have now had 4 players. Oh, Hampus is swapping it out. Fair enough, mate, fair enough. But that was the 4th player to take it this series as well. Everyone's just trying to throw what they can at the wall, see what sticks. GODSENT, they're sticking to B, they're sticking to their guns. Another fast pop and only pistols here. The AWP out of position for this round. Plopsky gets a kill, and he does get the rifle, doing something with it. Lato trades out, but he's not looking at Monster. Communication getting the better of GODSENT. There was a double Monster setup. One man's gone, but they know from the kill feed alone that Plopsky still stands here. You've got Nip split up, but even though Device was on that top site to start, GODSENT might end there. This AWP, after all, could be the saving grace of Nip in a round that they had no business winning. Deagle's forced up, 1 hero AWP, and Device, the weight of the world on his shoulders.
I mean, you know, for these GODSENT boys, they were kind of shopping around for an organization for a while for Device. This dude comes with a $1 price tag, right? So you're hoping that if anyone could do it, it's Device. But no, Barton bests him in the head-to-head. That's the AWP gone. Plopsky, 3 in the round already. Every kill has come at the hands of Plopsky with this rifle. He needs the ace if he wants to clutch it out for NIP and deny 15 to GODSENT. Oh no, he falls off the truck and Barton turns on a dime and shuts out the only ray of hope for NIP. It's 15 now on the board for GODSENT. 1 away from a third map, and the money is gone on the side of NIP.
That's why they have those little stairs in lorries, right? So you don't fall 5 feet down and inaccurate in the air. That's unbelievable. That was him set up for the ace. And you got to feel for Plopsky. Like, Threats, when he's losing these clutches, Threats hyping him up. Threats saying, don't worry, move on, go next. But that's like 4 1v2s Plopsky has been in this series, and he's only won 1 of them. Obviously, very hard rounds to win. But when you're feeling it like that, when you're saving the day, when you're doing what Device couldn't, that's got to hurt. Because that's really the map. A round that shouldn't have been won, and so it shall not be. Now just Deegs, MP9s, desperate times for NIP. GODSENT clearing connector, Molly top and bottom, making sure no one stands here. And so Device shall leave. Back to the toilet he goes. Phelps clearing middle. He's seen what NIP have been up to in this position. Rez could activate. He's deep on rock on long. Hampers. This is one of the first round GODSENT haven't gone for a quicker B approach. It's more of a default, and Rez is being held. Sweaty stuff, but it doesn't matter when you hit shots like that.
Oh my, and Phelps is creeping past Device, who's playing the cubby, playing the spam spot now. Does Phelps check it, or does he try to play the timing? Oh, this is so peculiar. This is so weird. Phelps has slipped the net, and Device is dead in middle. That's both players over at A. Oh, it's all going wrong. NIP, with every attempt to right their wrongs, it's only getting worse. And Phelps, once more, all the space that he's been able to take, helped out by Barton in this round, is looking to seal the deal. GODSENT.
What year is it?
1 kill away from taking us to the third map of Ancient. And Plopsky, I mean, the reality's setting in. This guy's given us so many close clutches, so many close clutch attempts, but this is not one of them. They're holding for it. They know where he is. GODSENT, this is impeccable, man. So well played here on Overpass. Their opponent's map pick, they lock it in, and this series, this quarterfinal, drags on into the third and final map of Ancient.
Vamos.
2 maps down, 1 to go. It was a tough outing on Nuke, but GODSENT managed to bounce back on Overpass. I'm lucky enough to be stood next to Taco to get his thoughts. Taco, run me through Nuke. Why did you lose your map pick?
Nuke was really difficult. We had a game plan to play at least the beginning of the game, going a lot outside, and they did a good job there, and we couldn't find a solution to have a good T side half. Besides that, we have a good start on the city side. We won the pistol round, and we thought that we could come back, but some key rounds, Hampus was playing really good outside, and yeah, it was difficult for us on Nuke, but yeah.
Overpass, on the other hand, you got off to a great start and then continued the momentum and got the W. How did you make that happen?
Oh, we are just, like I said before, we are just enjoying the moment, and even though we lost Nuke, I'm happy that we could bounce back on Overpass. We could keep the spirit and keep the energy really high for the team, with the team, and everyone is talking, everyone is communicating. That's how it should be, and we're going to come strong for this third map.
Third map is Ancient. Taco, if there's anything you'd like to say to your fans watching before you head back on the server, let them know.
Well, I just want you guys to know that we are going to do our very best to destroy NIP in this third map. We are really focused, and we really want this win. And let's do it. Let's go for it.
Thank you, Taco.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taco and GODSENT, of course, pushing us into Ancient. Now NIP find themselves in a pretty precarious situation, well, at least in regards to where they thought they would be at this point. We welcome you back to the Intel Extreme Masters. It's winter, it's 2021. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and not just in this tournament, the year ending, which means people want to end the year strong as well, and almost as strong as these two gentlemen to my right. I've got Jason and I've got Kassad. Now, Kassad, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, yeah, NIP, they dropped Ancient OG a couple days ago, so is there a chance?
I mean, there is always a chance. One thing that I have to commend GODSENT is the mentality, right? They lost the first pick, like against Big as well. They come into the second map in the first half, CT set, they just go all over the 12-3 half, you know, aggression everywhere, rotations, everything, like shots hit, every shot is hit on the right time, and everything is going like according to plan. Something you wouldn't expect from a young team like that, you know?
Yeah, and that's I was going to bring up that very same point. The aggression from GODSENT on their CT side was just overwhelming, and it never stopped. It actually even looked like NIP figured it out, put a stop to the aggression a couple times. I thought GODSENT might go away from it, and they just went right back into more aggression, and it worked. It got them a great lead, and I think on a deeper level, that's like, this is, you know, we've talked about GODSENT, or I've talked about GODSENT, you know, in the series against VP and big stretches there. The first map here against NIP, looking uncomfortable, not looking confident with what they're doing on the map. This was the complete opposite. This was the GODSENT you want to see. This is the GODSENT getting up in your face and feeling comfortable with each other, pushing forward, denying control, denying NIP what they want to have, and it yielded great results for them here on Overpass. In touching too, Trace, on your point of NIP losing to OG on Ancient, this win here from GODSENT, this puts NIP in a really tough spot. Their last 4 matches on Ancient have been super close, like 16-13, 16-14, overtime, 16-14 again. Like, this is a map that they're not, I mean, they tried to pick it, they tried to establish themselves as a dominant Ancient team early on the map's lifetime, and it didn't work. And now it's going to be really tough.
So what you're saying is that they've got a chance.
There's a real opportunity here, especially if GODSENT come out on Ancient the way they did on Overpass. It sounds crazy to say, but like Kassad mentioned, the mentality of these guys being in a situation where, you know, they've accomplished their goal for the year in qualifying for Pro League. That was probably the big goal they had for themselves. They've accomplished more than their goal coming into this event in the quarterfinals, and now even knocking on the door of a semifinal. This is an incredible result for GODSENT already. So you're playing this with no pressure. You're playing this already realizing that you've kind of accomplished things, and everything you do from here on is just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this third map, I think they were happy coming into, you know, the Ancient map, right? They were either Mirage, which they played super well yesterday and the day before that, even though they lost against PP, they had a good game, or Ancient, they also feel good on. So coming in after the second map and such a dominant performance, especially on the CT side, they must be feeling super hyped going into the tournament. And I like the fact that Taco said, we are going to come in and destroy NIP, not beat NIP, try to beat NIP, try to do our best, whatever. We're going to come in and destroy NIP. That's a classic Brazilian, you know, let's go mentality.
And sometimes, you know, whether you believe that or not, saying that in front of your troop, that might actually go a pretty long ways too. Now, for Taco and company, I see this second map goes their way. That's fantastic. Now I look at Nip and what really created that. Not so much that overpass, but are there individual performers that are sticking out to you within the confines of numbers, Jason?
Nothing super crazy. I mean, not for NIP. Obviously, this is a really rough game, so none of their scorelines are going to look entirely that impressive. For me, the one person that I'd look at where statistically you need some productivity is actually on the GODSENT side. It's Phelps. At this tournament, he's actually the only positively rated player on the entire squad. So that's the guy who throughout this event is kind of like the rock. He is kind of the foundation of the team where you've started to rely on him performing when you have some of these inexperienced players around him, and you need him to perform well to be able to enable the other young players to get involved.
Even
as
with
well.
that a single player like that, they're still in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
for the semifinals.
It's crazy.
Imagine if when these players, all these like players, young ones, get in the position where they already play like couple of, or maybe even 5 to 10 these events like this, what are they going to do then?
Yeah. I mean, this GODSENT, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but it's looking like with their results of this event, and especially if they can take this really impressive scalp of NIP, it feels like this team is going to be just loaded with potential.
We saw Plopsky right now. He had a not
That's a
so
puffy
good,
coat.
Yeah,
not a good map on overpass. So I would want to see him. I mean, he has the potential, right? And then I want to see him use that potential and get this snip into the semifinal in a game against G2, I believe.
Yeah, and they've got to get across the finish line here and now. Just one more map separating these two teams, and one of our our second semifinalist would have to be either that of Nip or GODSENT. That's what happens when G2 waits in the wings. We look at Ancient in a match that was 900 plus days in the making. Taco v Device. We'll be right back after this break.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
We have been delivered one hell of a series here and now between NIP and GODSENT. The first map, Nuke, that was GODSENT's pick to open up the entire thing, and NIP kind of steamrolled them in the initial half, right? Starting with their CT side, they put their best foot forward, and then we had a tiny comeback that got denied. It was a bit of a sour note to end on for GODSENT. They got 16-10 there. Well, then we head to Overpass. We all remember how that went. We know the T sides are a bit of a struggle for NIP, and they felt the full force of a fired-up GODSENT on their CT half of Overpass. Now we go the distance, right? We end up on Ancient, the big decider. NIP are in the huddle. They're willing to do anything and everything to make this work. But you've got to admire, man, the effort that GODSENT have put in, the fact that they're still here, still fighting for this. Back on Overpass, all their win conditions were met. Folks like Phelps popping off, incredible entries out of him. Taco's calling second to none. A lot of the time was able to rise above Hampus. But it's all up in the air as we head to map number 3 now. Hugo, yes. I've been talking away for a while, hoping to set the scene. How are you feeling about this game?
Pretty good, man. The scene is set indeed. I'm excited to see who's going to be AWPing here for GODSENT on this map, because that's certainly a change that's been really, really nice. You can notice in the bottom left as well, a little stat line came up. Turns out, any Vitality or VP fans in the house, you're rooting for GODSENT. If GODSENT manage to win this series, they will essentially make VP and Vitality qualify for those Katowice group stages of February next year. That's the Pro Tour points coming in. NIP can't overtake them. And so if you like Vitality, you like VP, or now you like GODSENT.
Yeah. I mean, it's even scary, right? Because it isn't just, you know, for NIP, the pressure is extra as a result of that. You know, this isn't just about quarterfinals anymore. You're looking to the future now. You're thinking about Katowice, for crying out loud. Right here, right now, it's Ancient, a third map between GODSENT and NIP. A series that is delivered on all fronts is now about to conclude.
Yeah, this has been a go-to map for GODSENT, right? Their grind this year has been immense, be it, you know, qualifying, getting those RMR points, starting from the bottom, literally 0 coming into the year, and managing to qualify for the major, making a run. Now, Pro League qualification, GODSENT, it was Ancient that got them there, but Lato, well, he finds a first pick. Phelps is shot through the smoke. It's a quick A split for GODSENT with a top mid smoke. They run through Donut, a late lurk out A main, and Rez bringing the pain. 2 headshots in this round already. Bomb will be able to get planted. There's a late mid lurk, but you've got to watch your back, Taco. Player heard, and this is a weird one. Get out of there while you still can. GODSENT a man down with the bomb on their side.
Yeah, and you know, we've been praising GODSENT for their pistols all damn day. 3-1 in this series, only losing their first pistol in that second half of Overpass. They're now looking to restart their good track record. Time is really starting to elude NIP. They've been very, very sparing with this clock, and they don't really have the ability to. They need these kills, and they need them now. Smoke on the bomb. They're sticking it. Doom out. Can't find the kill to deny it. Damage, but not enough. The defuse stuck, and NIP
Ace
grab themselves the pistol, and Rez comes in with the ace.
Dude, he should have been dead. Like, he was getting baited in by the player on Big Box, but inside of the temple, there was someone right next to him. Rez flick headshots him and goes on to ace the round, covering for Esatag's defuse. A sick play out of Rez. And I think that started with a fully smoked off one tap down middle. He barely uses his bullets. Rez. That's one way to start. You know, he's been good today. He hasn't been like a world ender, and this would be a time to show up in the Rez fashion that we've seen him in some of these previous games that we saw against Astralis on the opening match for NIP, that we saw against Liquid last night, where he tore them limb from limb. Now is a better time than ever. Forced buy for GODSENT. Galils are out. no util. They've just waltzed into the B-bomb site, given up by NIP. It's going to have to be a retake after all, once again. Careful, Barton.
Yeah, this is scary, mate. Playing with utility on this corner. Barton, oh, that's more like it. Little double up. Oh, Hampus back with the responses, suddenly giving NIP a chance. He was not meant to get the double there. Oh, GODSENT in trouble. It's a very wide plant. It is for ramp, both here and Taco with the swing. Even though you know where both of them are, all it's doing is really setting in just how impossible this clutch is. Dumao closes it and GODSENT back in with a response immediately. The force buy comes through, and this time they're able to pick it up. Do you remember back on Overpass, they were keen to force there, and despite getting it close, they weren't able to win these. Well, here on Ancient, they put their best foot forward to open up.
Yeah, conversions have actually been really consistent, right, all throughout this series. So it's going to flip-flop here when GODSENT come in with a big buy.
Nice. That is actually the first non-converted pistol. And of course, you know, it's GODSENT, the ones with that flawless track record in conversions, to break it.
Yeah, it took Rez to ace them, to stop them from keeping up their streak. But even so, they get back on the horse immediately and ride off into the sunset. Nip, well, they've already lost a man through smoke. Karma goes back. Device waits. He knows he has Latto. Trapped behind the box. Very patient play from GODSENT. They're waiting on the regroup back at B. Barton's running through spawn. Device has told Hampus what he's looking for, but if he doesn't give you the kill, there's nothing you can do. Not with Dumao covering it. Device walks up. Impatience may get the better of him. Thank you very much. He was very close. He even hit Latto with his first bullet, but it means nothing. GODSENT own middle. They're about to pop B, and once again, like the previous round, Nip have lent away from this site. Nice shot from Plopsky, but inconsequential, and this round is falling to the wayside.
Yeah, maybe there's a chance for Rez to, you know, scavenge a Galil, get something out of this round as he wraps Latto in the bottom of mid. Oh, but even then, Phelps is nearby to trade this out, so Rez, the timing might just get the better of him here. Oh, it's ugly.
Awful.
And now they know about him. That's a little rough. Gets surprised by the second man emerging. So GODSENT, they get that conversion after winning these force buy wars out. They're now destined to go 3-1 up before these rifles come back through for NIP.
They're going to walk the smoke. Phelps is walking his own smoke.
Phelps is gross. Like,
Mate,
I really love the confidence he's displaying throughout this entire series. It feels like he's only gotten better and better as time's gone on. And I think that's exactly what you want out of your like tenured entry player, right? You want him to be creating that space, inspiring the rest of the gang to step up. It feels like him and Barton have been real driving forces behind this GODSENT
It's like,
score.
it's super motivational. It's like they're older than you, right? You can draw parallels with Gambit when they have Hobbit, you know, this major winner, this incredible player, touted highly, and he's surrounded by all these youngsters. Well, you got similar, you know, things here for GODSENT in Taco and Phelps, right? These guys have they've walked the walk, they can talk the talk, and you know that's inspirational for some of these 18-year-old players coming up, and you know trying to do what they've seen these guys do for years. Really weird setup here for Nip. 4 in the donut. I like it. USPs though should never be around. They still have that B info because GODSENT, like I said, have been walking in many a round. Right now it's a contact out A instead. This is weird. And still no noise has been made. Like Nip would hear even a footstep in A main, but now grenades go out. 2 of them, in fact, behind the default box. GODSENT, no strangers to Ancient. A little set piece on this site thrown from main, and now Taco, he starts to uncover the terrible truths of what lies in the donut. These 2, that's a third.
I mean, this could still get, like, really out of hand, what with the bomb being all the way back in T-spawn. You're going to go grab that. You're assuming, like, if we run this into B, we should be fine, but with this flank coming through, oh, my God, everyone's freaking out on the side of GODSENT. They're running away. They're getting chased down. Oh, it's a whole swarm of them. Phelps trying to hold on. These USPs shouldn't cause you problems, and yet still, it's down to this 1v1. Rez might be low, but NIP didn't just do all of this with these vanilla pistols only to give up now. AK retrieved, and Latto left to beat, but no information. Both heading into this blind with no armor on Rez. He's a dead man coming through this smoke. Latto makes it happen. Phelps as well, instrumental If it isn't for him going huge, they might have only been USPs, mate, but they destroyed everyone else on his team.
Yeah, can't use the word only when you're in a 4-on-2, can you? Locked. That's a really cool setup for him. And the reason it gets weird as well is Rez, who was solo B while there were 4 there, he leaves B to come off ledge and shoot the rest of GODSENT in the back of the head and middle. The sad reality is that leaves B open, and Lato gets in with a plant with the smoke and locks him out of the round. Nothing Rez can do. Fan cams are up. I think we need some more GODSENT fans in there. It's looking pretty barren, looking lacking. Right now, Nip coming in with the big guns. It's a lovely eco. And what can they do now that they're armed to the teeth? Again, flashing out A for GODSENT. This time they commit, and it's into Rez, who seems to have woken up in this final map of the series with it all to play for, everything on the line. Rez is not letting this opportunity get wasted. It's going to force GODSENT's hand back to B.
Yeah, Device turns from the flash. S-Tag sets him up nicely. Lato might have got that opener, but he's the walking wounded, and he's still got both Cave and CT to try and clear. There isn't a smoke for any of these angles, so as you're moving up the ramp, you feel so open. Oh, that's
okay.
nice out of Dumao. And now if he can deal with Cave, that is a lot more room cracked open. You've gained a lot of information from this as well, spotting that Cave player. You now know the others were in CT. That third guy was in Cave. A is ripe for the taking. And so Dumao's moved in, but he's got to hold the line. And with him falling at the hands of Rez, Taco is now in a very rough spot.
Yeah, it's stressful for Dumao. He kind of had to take that fight. He knows it's one of the only one-on-ones he's going to get versus that first rotator. Now look at how Nip's set up. They just wait, ready to trade, ready to win. It's Rez down first. Taco pre-firing. He almost hits the headshot. Shooting too soon. Now down low. It cost him. Plant is allowed, but Nip are going to swing this together. Taco needs both headshots, and he needs them immediately.
Surely they see the barrel. Yeah, mate, they've got him pinned in. They know where he is. He only had the info on one. It was not an easy clutch for Taco. If your GODSENT there, you know, you at least get out of it with a bomb plant. That is something to hold on to. Something for you to work with in this follow-up round. Rez giving us a beautiful game.
Yeah. The reassurance from Rez. Ace in the pistol. Stopping this A walk that GODSENT got away with in the previous round. Solo A as well, a lot to do, especially when that mid position has been corrupted. Gotta care donut, gotta care main. So many smokes to be thrown over the top from either which way. GODSENT call a pause. Good to get them in early, you know. When do we see orbs is the question, not yet. Unless Phelps has dropped one, but I think he's... Oh, actually... Some people have spent a lot of money. I don't know if it's just a double AK buyer, if they've dropped one over to Dumao, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see. No, just Galil's. GODSENT. Leaning B heavy, but that bomb is outside of middle. Taco's got to be careful. It is on his back. Doesn't want to lose this in no man's land. Hampus very deep in mid as well. It's been passive setups for Nip most of this game, playing towards red and donut. He will eventually give it up. Ooh, Phelps burning on the molly. These spams as well that we see shooting through, they can get pretty painful. Device laying it down, 2 kills through the ramp. We saw Phelps try and react off the back of S-Tag, spamming, okay, buddy. But it was Device covering the ramp. All a bit of a ruse, a bit of a bait, as GODSENT, this round's already in a 2-on-5.
Yeah, you know, I think GODSENT here maybe trying to keep it a little too simple, right? Like, you're just looking for the dry peaks up through ramp, and with every single person you've thrown in to try and trade this, it's only gotten worse. This is now twice in a row we've seen them attempt to take B with no form of utility, like no mollies to displace that long player, no smokes either to cut off the short or long angle. There is a lot you can do at this B bomb site with a little bit of utility, and I think you could easily make the case that, you know, even like an SMG rush with long and short smokes or a cave smoke down can give you a lot more options than just dry fighting the ramp like this.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten into B in these previous rounds by just walking in, so that's, you know, the confirmation bias of maybe we should keep doing it. But now Nip have more numbers here, and Device is seriously doing work. Lovely tap from Bartin, but a 1-on-4, surely not. Swung by Plopsky, another headshot, and Bartin is making me question everything. Hampus will contain the round though, and Nip 3-3 equalize very quickly.
You were touching upon something earlier on when you were kind of talking about this astronomical rise of GODSENT and how cool that's been to follow. You know, when we look at like their RMR points, their journey to the major back at IEM Fall, you know, placing really well there, making it all the way to the grand finals. It was such a cool story to follow. I mean, who could forget, right, for IEM Winter as well? This was the series that they had to make it through the qualifier for, right? They had to beat Furia in that grand final. They got 16-1 on the opening map and then pull it back to 2-1 them and qualify for this event. It's really, really sick how, you know, these guys are very almost like pure in the journey at this point still, right? Still having to compete in those qualifiers, still having to grind their way to these events and always showing up with something to show off.
Yeah, like we just saw them qualify for Pro League really the other day, and we saw what that meant to Taco. I mean, he was getting emotional talking about it. It must feel great to accomplish your goals so quickly in the space of a year or so since building a roster. And right now, Nip, well, they're teaching them a lesson on the anti-eco. Dumao, he grabbed an AK and luckily can't get away with anything. Nip keep it clean once again.
So, you know, just to kind of expand that a tiny bit more, is that, like, you know, one of the things that is so cool is that outside of, like, the two easily recognizable names on GODSENT, like, the other guys still have you know, maybe wealth of experience, a bit of experience on, like, these fledgling teams out in the South American region, right? Barton is a very obvious one from Team 1 as of previous. But it's like, you know, when they were on these journeys with other teams, with teams gone by, they were like fledgling squads. You know, they were grinding, they were on the journey, but they were never consistent faces. They were never consistent voices. You've really got to admire what Taco's been able to mold this team into at such a fast rate, it feels like, as well. So now we've got this buy coming back in, right? NIP, set up over here in middle. Someone who started to come alive and is making me a little bit worried is Device. I think you're going to have a really hard time reeling in this trifecta of Rez, Device, and Hampus. These were the three who, if you remember, maybe not so much Rez, but Device and Hampus back on Nuke caused you a wealth of problems. Well, now you've got Rez popping off as well. It's a whole different beast to worry about when this guy's got his head in the game.
Axile's tearing FaZe to shreds with this angle that Rez is playing now, right? He's got the little bit of wood cover. He can spam through it, but they can't see him first. It's a hard place to clear running out into that empty A site with no smokes. This position doesn't really care about utility. Very hard to flash as well. Device, ooh, ho, ho, ho. It's the A1S effect, man. It just makes you feel invincible when you're shooting smokes. And, well, for now, Device is put down low, but still standing tall. He leans back to A. Rez with a bit of a gap. They're running his way. Oh, dear. Which side do they clear? Oh, Taco turns, and Rez gets picked off. Hampus in the middle of the site, in the middle of the open. Pick a target or die with none. 5-on-2. GODSENT storm their way. They blitz into A, and it's a fourth round on the horizon.
Yeah, that was a genuine case of someone trying to have their cake and eat it too, right?
Could have taken either 1v1, but wanted both. Yeah, maybe thought he got the kill on the first spray, and then realized too late. There's a lot going on. It's getting stressful.
I'm kind of... Oh, my God, Dumao's even hunting. This is so grimy. This is so grimy. Dumao with the double denies the save and breaks the money of NIP, essentially securing GODSENT the lead again. What I was going to say is, mate, when was the last time you saw some A take shape, especially coming in through Donut with someone playing where Rez was? The end's flawless. I feel like that never happens.
I mean, Rez dying immediately with nothing is a shocker. Like, Taco looks like he's not even going to check him. He's jumping around in Donut, sorry, and Rez is ready. He's heard it. And then look at that. What? Yeah, great cover.
Man, whenever I see Taco jumping around like that, it reminds me of the Cash picture. You know, the one where he's just looking up in the air, like mid-air jumping, firing up into the sky. Oh, at MVK, it's such a good picture, man. Right. Just pistols left for NIP.
Yeah, they were in control a couple of rounds ago, right? Like, we were hyping up. Well, Device was wrecking on B right now, and then Rez was holding on to A, and now, boom, Nip, right back to nothing. Holding for the triple boost. Okay, buddy. I mean, it's one way to do it. It is Brazilian teams that like to use it. Sometimes, I think it was Pain at the major as well. Boom. boost dropped, but we're going to get back up, give it another go. Ooh, double layer setup again. Niblub putting 4 pistols together and finding success. They may do it once more. An eco, don't win it now. Barton, he's not going to clear it. He has no idea, and Rez gets a gun. You don't want to give this guy an AK when he's angry. 2 on 5, flip the other way, and GODSENT need to pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah, and with no smoke either, man, this is such a problem. You need to actively fight for CT or Temple, and you're not ready for Hamper. Shot in the back again. Lato, 1v4. All these AKs have been retrieved. He's up against the full-on militia on the other side.
Oh, dear.
And there they are surrounding him.
Look at the arsenal, man. Like, everyone's armed now. Now you've really, really ruined your chances of running away with this T side. Nip, a full eco win. The donut round, it almost did it. It made it the 1v1 with 4 there. But now, the quad B, the boost for Hampus, that double setup in Cave, and corner's not cleared by GODSENT. If anything, getting that kill deep, I think it was Lato onto, whoever was Dumao, deep onto Rez and Spawn. Oh, that made him completely discount the A position. They'd seen 4 at B.
You know, and you hope this doesn't make you question your reads. You kind of, because, you know, like that, on Ancient especially, man, it feels like there's a lot of 50-50 angles. Like, you either check the right corner or you die. And it's like, there are a lot of them like this over towards CT, over towards Red, in Temple, in Donut, in Cave. These exist all over the place on this map. And thus far, you know, like GODSENT, they've been running around with a very, very clear picture, it feels like, of how an IP like to play. But with that last USP round, that full eco getting close, now with it actually coming into fruition, an eco win for an IP, is this where, you know, it starts to eat away at you? Do you start to question if maybe you were reading this right all along?
Oh dear, Hammers is blind. He doesn't know he's being hunted down. Lato running it up to the A site, and Nip started triple B. They've got no one here. They were going to pull back quickly, but GODSENT haven't been keen to run out of A in the first 5 seconds. Here they are, taking that space off the pick provided by Lato. Rez smoked off, does some damage, but nothing here to stop. I say that, smoke and wallbang spam finds Phelps, and with an equalizer, suddenly you're tempted in. In fact, you're committed. That molly has trapped Rez and Temple. The retake is on.
Oh, Plopsky's getting weird around this smoke. Rez might die in Temple, but there's more here to try and trade, try and back him up. Device finds it, and now with Plopsky playing around that smoke, that felt doomed. Dumao, all alone, and he's got to go. Yeah, he's got to go really wide to stop this defuse. Like really wide. He needs to be further forward than this. Catching them on the cross. Now they know where he is, but no one's getting on the bomb yet. It's giving Dumao time. Luckily enough, Device has got the stopwatch out. Yep. Calls for Plopsky to get on the bomb and holds the line.
Yeah, when Device tells you to stick it because he has your angle, you got to trust him. That's what he's here for. Safe pair of hands in the sight. And, mate, in terms of those retake, the first 2 kills were just smoke shots, like no info for NIP. It's a little lucky, but I think they're owed some after, you know, the fast A play with no one in the bomb site. Nice try from GODSENT. They're trying everything right now. We haven't seen proper B executes. That's the only thing lacking, right? A telegraph play with long, short smokes. They've often waltzed in dry. Right now, a half buy. Bomb is never with the pack, but it is coming later. Just throwing mid-util to condition Nip to keep up appearances. And Nip, you can see they've been burned. They immediately leave mid and check A, but it is all a ruse.
Yeah, they have the 2 smokes needed to make this happen this time around. Device! Whoa! Fast on this orb. 2 to his name already, but the molly tags him down at the last second. Smoke on the site. Oh, wait. Just going for the plant. You madman! Bomb now down. GODSENT haven't even fully cleared the site, mate. Cave is still harboring so many bad guys. Lato with this retrieved orb.
Oh dear.
Shot first time around. He's going to go back in for more. On the short side, though, is where NIP is spilling over into this side of the map. Smoke on the bomb. They're looking to stick it with Lato dead. It was only a matter of time. NIP claps into that bomb site.
Yeah, it's nice getting the bomb plant there. Like, it looks stylish, it looks funny, but really it doesn't do you any favors, because even though the clock's on your side, you have Nip still in Cave, like you said. They're still throwing in util. They're still keeping up pressure. It's not like you can get comfortable and actually establish post plants. You're just taking whatever the hell they give you. You get long, but mollies come in and trap Lato and Barton out of the round. So Nip, nice retaking right now, going on back-to-back rounds. A and B getting stressful for Taco. The calls have been nice back on overpass, but right now nothing's working out. GODSENT Molly down the middle. Got to respect the util. Device, new round, new position. He's been all over the place. Banged them out on B last time. Good grenade to doom out. Barton's got mid flashes. Didn't know you could throw them from here. That's nice. Some of the walls can't throw anything over. Nice. Oh, dinked. Get out of there.
Did the classic QQ a little too fast, right? That definitely would have been a tag. That was dead on. Rez as well, getting pressure. Hey, oh, he's calling for support, and Device has come in at just the right time. He might be low, but he still takes one to the grave with him. Dumau's dead in red, and Lato and Taco are left up in the 2-on-4. They can't get past Rez, who is anchoring this A bomb site brilliantly right now, mate. It is always a treat to watch him when he's feeling it, but I love how he's been playing A. He never overcommits. He never gets overzealous. You can see like the mind of Rez whirring as he makes contact with the main player. He hears that Device has been forced out of middle. His brain's like, well, I know what they're trying to do to me. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm going to tuck in, play the long game, buy time for my teammates to get here. And look at how decisive the round was from that point on.
Yeah, we're seeing smoke shots on retakes, but that's a round where smokes actually get missed by GODSENT. CT smoke doesn't land perfectly. Massive gap for Rez to just stop anyone crossing into the bomb site. And GODSENT, they feel like they've tried it all, fast, slow, they've done it both, but neither are getting rounds. Nip are picking up steam here on Ancient. Really, as they should be, right? Like, we're hyping up GODSENT. It's a cool Cinderella story. It has big ramifications for other teams, Pro Tour points. But in reality, it would be a bit of a shame to not see Nip make another run in this event, because let's be real, Stockholm let down a little. We wanted more crowd time from Nip, but they fall to the finalists in the first quarter-final. They don't want to do that again, not against underdogs this time.
Yeah, you know, and you didn't bring Device and S-Tag into this squad to be a quarter-finalist team. You brought them in to be a championship team, right? So, you know, you'd like to think that with the likes of Na'Vi not here, this would be a squad like Nip's time to shine.
A lot of dead teams. It's a very open tournament. Even now in the playoffs, it's anyone's guess who is going to win this event. You know, likely contenders, Gambit, Vitality maybe, but Phelps picking up pace, running through smokes, running through Molotovs. GODSENT again, storming B. It's going to have to be a retake, or maybe the bomb will just never go down. Nip, with no smokes around, they hunt the kills, and good luck to Mao. Fake, you're getting spammed. There's 3 right there. And that was never going to happen. Nip up to 9, and it is a beautiful CT side. On a very CT-sided map, though, keep in mind. For GODSENT, 66% of their rounds come on the CT side as well. They just need a little bit more breathing room, I think.
We've seen a tiny bit out of Dumau trying to take red control. It's happened a couple of times now when they've looked for middle. I would really love a late mid lurk to try and come through. Now, it's always finicky to hit the perfect timing, but NIP, mate, they are rotating very, very quickly, and it's thanks to having that open line of rotation through red. You're never slowing down these rotates on the back of these B plays. Same can be said for this A side, mate.
Oh, this is a fake. This is fully sold by Phelps. He's got a kill. Look at the adjustment. Mid players pulling back. Rez cooling. It's actually an A stack. Everyone's rushing out main, and he is gone instantly. Device's AWP does fire back, though, and you don't want to count Nip out. That would be foolish.
Yeah, if one person could get you believe it again. Device on this AWP. Pretty good candidate.
Almost a lineup.
It looked dead on, but he moves, I think, as he takes the shot. That could have been a collateral.
Yep.
That would have been you spurred on to give this a go. I mean, you've got the money. You can give this the look in. You may as well attempt it. And with Klopski dead after 1, it's all onto Device. He's getting wrapped through red by Phelps. That should be the failsafe. That should be the lock-in. Device is Deagle. Delivers the first, but time's against him. The whole world's against him, and Phelps' flank should seal the deal. Device with the turn.
Don't you dare.
Time's run out. That's his enemy. That's his problem. And Taco, even though he falls at the hands of Device, he wins the round for GODSENT.
I mean, it's close, but you just wipe the sweat off your forehead there and say, thank God we won another gun round. It's been a while for GODSENT. It's been an absentee side of them. It was only the beginning off the back of the Force. They were able to build a 3-round streak. My goodness. Device gives it a damn good attempt, but no time for the round win. And these retakes, they have just been the bread and butter for NIP. They've been winning them round after round. So very nice attempt, but hey, you wanted a mid-lurk and you got it. The late red play from Phelps. Rez back to rifle, no AWP. Great grenade. bounces it into A main and does damage to 2. Lots of noise being made. There's no question about whether GODSENT are here. Plopsky wants more info, but it's disinfo, it's misinfo from GODSENT, who don't show lane early, only now taking it at 128. Hampers is flanking A main. He might get some kills, but this is still misinfo. He sees people setting up smokes. That being said, Nip seem to know what's going on. They're leaning B after that kill.
S-tag. Oh, okay. Right. Will get opened up onto Device. Top in the charts right now and not showing any signs of slowing down. Puts up 20 to close out this first half. NIP lead the way. GODSENT, they've got to dig deep or else this might be the end of their journey.
Hey Future Pros! Taking mid as a T can open so many options while playing Ancient. Throwing mid smokes from spawn is quick, but also means you could be locked out if the CT's utility is on point. So these mid smokes I'll show you will be great for a slightly delayed mid take. For this mini execute you'll need 2 Future Pros, 2 smokes, and possibly a molly to be safe.
The pistol, it's the NIP now move into their T side, right? And we all know how these have looked. This is where, more so than ever, I think we need Device to keep this kind of form up. This is why you bring him into the team, to be the guy who can make a difference when you go the distance like this. Early on, Hampers clears out the lane, but NIP, it's an A game right now, and that's a lovely opener out of Rez. Taco dead, and suddenly you're spilling over into this A bomb site.
Yeah, the best A take we've seen on map, Brian. That's mainly because GODSENT just don't have the numbers here. Leaning 4B. There's a retake on the cards. Duma has a kit. No util. You've got to win your fights here. And first, you've got to get Donut. It's the best post-plant position. And there's full of Swedes. 2, in fact, waiting in the wings. Barton trying to move in from the temple. Only 2 GODSENT players left up, and the kills not coming their way. Beautiful shot from S-Tag, and he's going to follow up. 2 in the round, and 11 rounds for Nip. GODSENT, the pistols are starting to trickle down, Harry. They're no longer keeping it up with the same consistency of Nuke, of Overpass. Didn't win it in the first of this half either, but they did force up and take that. So let's see what they decide to do on this CT half.
Yeah, they will force. You understand why, right? You know, where it was GODSENT to win the first 3 pistols in this series. Now both teams are 3-3. However, GODSENT, they've converted everyone.
Oh, hello.
And IP have not. Oh, trying to hold it. That's awkward.
It's one way to do it.
Device's nade. Doing a little too much damage, if you ask me.
Yeah, ask Plopsky. He'll agree.
Don't worry, Device, you can make up for it now. If you get this kill, safety is restored. Latto is the only thing you got to worry about now. Even then, he would have to go huge to win this. He would need a mow down of the ages. There's one.
Angle.
We'll get out of there, right? Falling back, it's a nice idea. Gives him a second chance at fighting in this B side, but the ammo runs dry. It's heartbreaking. They were all blind. Could have been in with a chance. You know that Taco's often situated over towards A. And so at some point, your mind's got to turn to this flank. You've heard that molly come out from Ninja. You know there's players in this cubby, but will he be ready for the double setup? That's the problem. S-Tag swinging out after the fact, gets that trade.
That's really cheeky, isn't it? A little double up in the dark position. They had the smoke down as well, and not only does that like confuse you, but also cuts off short. It means, you know, if Taco's coming from CT, he's just not going to get that info. He's not going to find 2 players lined up in the box. Awkward round for a moment there, but Nip recover it well. And with the 4 spy falling short and eco to follow, even though GODSENT CT side on this map is their strongest half, as it should be, it's going to be very, very delayed. And you're not going to have much room for error. This should be 13-5. Are they taking a page out of the Nip book, putting 4 USPs in Donut, but a little more impatient this time around? Hampus with the Glock out gone. And it's only USPs, but Plopsky's patient, trying to make some money on the way out. Oh, see ya.
Yeah, the sad reality of this, right, is that GODSENT, they are not going to have many chances to turn this one around. You're really hinging on this idea that NIP's T sides can just come crumbling down to hold true now more than ever. How are you making this so close?
No.
It should end, right, Hugo?
Yeah. Right?
It should be a Nip
They are
round
going
still.
B, Harry.
They are going B. They are going into the stack. Dumao does have this AK as well. Phelps, first point of contact. You do not want to lose Dumao's rifle. He's the guy who's going to have to do the bulk of the heavy lifting. Oh, the nade. It just dribbles along the ground. But S-Tag holding this. Dumao's still gone out. Oh, the aim punch will wreck him. And yeah, this smoke is making it very claustrophobic. This one scavenged rifle. Trying to keep opportunities in check for GODSENT. Smoke on the bomb, tapping it, trying to bait a peek. He doesn't know that both players are down the ramp.
They call it.
Nip call his bluff as well, and I love it. I mean, you know he's not going to have the kit. You know it's a full eco. As wild a thought as this is, bro, if he stuck it, he would have won the round.
It's insane, isn't it? Both times as well. Not calling it once, but twice, man. When you know he has no info. Honestly, his stick might have been his best play, but instead, saving the AK. Never to know that Nip wouldn't hunt him down. And that's the mind game. They say pros don't fake. Nip school GODSENT. At least a gun saved, but yeah, we've been alluding to it. You're running out of time. You're running out of opportunity. You're running out of pistol rounds. And Nip tasting the semi-finals in their mouth already. They haven't even had to show anything on this T side yet. Orps out for Lato. He had a great game on overpass after Dumao was a bit sloppy on his on Nuke, and Hampus runs right out middle. The nade again will be what gets it done for GODSENT. Yep, up and leave. Talk about dry fights, it's all GODSENT wanted. Up B ramp, Device does the same.
Oh, Phelps has actually dropped a lane smoke to keep them out of cave. This also kind of limits, how much he's able to weigh in, but it safeguards his cave position for the time being. He's going to back up, come to rejoin Lato here, who is getting pressured up through the ramp, and rotations have actually been called for ahead of time out of GODSENT.
Yeah, look at the clear. Taco's all the way in on the flank. Now, if they bail and drop mid, Taco needs to decide. Yeah, does he want to climb up from mid side or does he want to go back through spawn? It is the former, and Plopsky's there, the perfect peak. Literally a second later, so of course it favors him. Now they run their way to A, and even though GODSENT are here ahead of time, NiP are all grouped up and they're going to have a fairer fight.
Yeah, Dumao, that's a lot of damage. If Barton can capitalize. Oh, Device is TK'd.
Not again.
And NIP, they've got to look over their shoulder in every one of these fights. Swedes and Danes are not meant to get on, but come on, not like this. There's the flank from Phelps to seal the fate of NIP in that round there. GODSENT, they claim a sick. They are still giving this all they've got.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought having 4 players grouped up in Donut would be a benefit. You get to trade, but that's a bit too heavy-handed. There's not much room in those tunnels, in those hallways. And okay, GODSENT have been given a lifeline at least. Maybe, divine intervention. But you take what you can get at this point in the game. And now, now you've answered the call. You've filled up the fan cams for the GODSENT side. We like it. Device hero, AK, and he does put it to good use. Ooh.
It's immediately reclaimed, though. And that hero AK, man, it can't really go to anyone else. You can give it to whoever, but they don't have armor behind them. That's the issue. And they're going to get aim punched, as to whether or not you want to keep it on Device or throw it to anyone else. I think you just pick your poison, really. And if Device is feeling 22 and 12, if Device says, no, I'm keeping the AK, well, then you listen to him, don't you? Timing on this little flash. Now, no one fires off, right? They all play trigger discipline, so GODSENT don't know about this. Oh, Phelps has a feeling, man. His spidey senses are tingling, and this is, you can just feel like the understanding that GODSENT have of how NIP like to play.
Here it comes. They're going to pop the smoke.
Yeah, on the other side, all these pistols lurk in the dark. That smoke starting to dissipate, and a missed shot out of Lato. Phelps in cave needs a flash to help set him up, help bail him out, and it's a good flashbang over the top. Taco, or Lato rather, there to assist. S-tags Deagle, backed into a corner. Gets shut down, spammed out by Dumao, and GODSENT are up onto 7, closing this gap. Still, 6 rounds between them and NIP. It's a long old ways to go, but it's baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps, one by one, bit by bit. You're learning, you're adapting, you're overcoming, but there's still so many more rounds to show. And NIP, that was only a half buy, right? Or an eco, rather. They had one gun, bunch of Deagles, armorless. So now we get to see more of an execute-heavy round, hopefully, for NIP. Wonder what the call is. Fast down mid. Hampus gonna eat a nade, but with all these smokes down, there's not much GODSENT can do. I think NiP must have thrown the little bug molly combo that lands by Donut, because GODSENT have thrown a smoke on top of that just to stay alive. Phelps a little more audacious down ramp. It's gonna make NiP waste time clearing it as he backs up into the bomb site and re-aggresses in cave. Very slow default. Look at the map. NiP are everywhere. Any aggression gonna get punished. Any want for info going to get denied. Taco pushes into middle, but Hampus is hidden behind the boxes. Meanwhile, NiP have waited long enough. Now they group back up at the B bomb site. Still a couple of players in middle, so you do want to either get them activated on a flank or have them climb up and join the bulk of the hit at B. S-Tag going to be left to lurk. Phelps First contact of the round, and he's screwed now. Trapped in a corner. Lato does bail him out with 1 kill, but Phelps still will fall. Good flash. Lato's got to give it up, and Nip now know the AWP is here.
Oh, Taco and Lato going to play the bait and switch, right? 2 ways you can elect to play this one. Oh, Dumao spots them falling back into middle. And so suddenly, Penny's going to drop that actually Barton is the guy feeling the pressure. Here they come. Back of the A site, the open hand. They're not main. Everyone's through Donut, but Barton's not to know that. Eventually, him and Lato, they collapse on in, and they drop that bomb. Out in the open, Plopsky has got 15 seconds, mate. You've got to be running, and you can't. Sneaking up through CT, nails the first. But Barton hiding out, and he knows he doesn't have the time, doesn't have the resources, doesn't have the room to win this clutch. GODSENT, keep the rounds flowing.
Yeah, you know Nip are feeling the pressure now. I'm still very glad Plopsky makes a call just to get out of there. Maybe someone's telling him to just throw it in. The bomb was Donut. He physically couldn't have got it, even if the kill was instant. So it's a nice save. But wow, those AWPs just absolutely ruin NIP coming into that A site, right? Because it was never meant to be an A execute. It was never meant to be an A hit. They didn't have any util. They were just running it dry from mid after they killed Dumao up red. Also wanting to avoid the AWP, pretty reasonable. If they went into B, it might not have been pretty with that double cave setup. But the double AWP, it's what tears NIP apart. Another timeout. This is the first one called by Nip.
Yeah, think back to Overpass, right? There were a lot of cases where it's like, one team there, it was GODSENT would propose a problem, and then you'd have Nip trying to come up with a solution. And then GODSENT would then, improve upon that, try to create another problem. We're getting that again here. It really wouldn't surprise me if from now on, it's feeling like GODSENT have wisened up to any of these fakes, right? They're no longer just getting kind of misdirected or thrown around this map. Yeah. I imagine if we have that kind of situation again, if you get that Dumao kill in mid, you might slow it down and try to get trickier with it.
Well, they try some tricks, but Phelps has cleared all of B lane with Dumao after pushing together from caves. So now GODSENT know this is going to be an A lean. Barton is here, a weird boost for Device. We've had the hero AK, didn't win the round, got one rather. Now we have the hero AWP, saved by Plopsky. Device needs to put it to good use. Send a pistol first, let them die. There was an AWP here earlier, and, well, Device will just straight up peek him, taking down the AWP. Taco trades, Plopsky grabs the gun, and Taco's buying time, but not enough. Deeged out, Plopsky uses the sidearm. Rez tries to take Donut, but not for long. And now Nip, they may have the sight. Their last smoke going down to cut off Donut, and the plant is in.
That's a lot of damage, but it gets a bit weird now.
Big luck.
Yeah, Hampus on this wrap through Donut. Everyone on GODSENT is so hyper-fixated on regaining control of the bomb that they might not ever be ready for Hampus's wrap with the Deagle. This could be a 14th round for Nip if Hampus can get value out of this flank. Oh, no! A missed shot! They've turned back. Plopsky instead with the AWP has to rise up, and he's good for a double. Lato all alone, head on a swivel, running out of time. And the reality setting in that the pistols might have done it. He's out of there, saving this gun. NIP up to 14. The hero AWP delivers in a massive way. Yeah. All the kills coming off the back of that AWP.
It looks very awkward, it gets stressful, but at the end of the day, Hampus at least drew their attention back. Plopsky, his saved AWP is everything, right? He gives it to Device, who finds the opener, a dry peek onto Barton's AWP, who was on the angle, and then Plopsky picks it up and finds 2 kills, 3 in the round if you count the Deeg too. Just a beautiful little A-pop there for Nip. And remember, off the back of that, GODSENT had all the info. They cleared lane within seconds of the round beginning. It allowed for the double A setup. It meant nothing. GODSENT knew what was up, and they still couldn't put a stop to it. Nip trying to run wild with this one, but Phelps back to B lane and bringing the pain. It's only one. Rez did the same. With that smoke down, there's nothing Nip can do about this B control. They can shoot through, but GODSENT are not offering up kills. I love the aggression. We weren't getting any B lane takes yesterday in that ancient game between FaZe and Gambit. GODSENT show why you do it and how you do it. Let's force NIP out of the bomb site.
It's always awkward when you know you've lost control of the doors and lane as well, because in your head you are just worried, like, how much info do GODSENT have? That's kind of what you're asking yourself right now if you're NIP. For all you know, they could have mid. They could be pushing T-spawn, for crying out loud, through the double doors. You just don't know. And so everywhere you go is just masked in uncertainty. Creeping out through middle.
Playing strat roulette right now. Luckily, with Barton low, he's just not going to risk any info. This does leave Taco's orb in the hot seat. Watching the wrong way. Even just taking down one with him. That might be enough. 20 seconds, he turns round, and Hampus is wider than he was ready for. Nip, this is a weird and wacky round, and they've taken some serious space. Hampus getting pushed in close. Hard spot to clear, especially with Device taking contact. They might never know until it's already too late. Nip surrounded by 15 rounds. It's coming up. There's nothing GODSENT can do about it. Hampus, hello, there we go. He saves the day, but Barton's already run away.
That is heartbreaking for Taco. Like, imagine that, right? He's been playing this phenomenal game. If you think back to Nuke as well, like, his AWPing at ramp was something to be marveled at. We always talk about how anyone can AWP on this team. Well, there, he's on the A side, holding main, as you say, the wrong way. He finally wisens up to this idea that, okay, they could have hit this mid-timing. But his brain is just maybe a second behind the reality of the situation. They are literally a second ahead of where he's ready for. And that leads to the site falling away, puts the AWP into the hands of Device, which leads to that incredibly strong temple setup. And the round was lost from that point onwards.
Device may have had 20 kills in the first half, right? It's not like he's popped in the second, but his 4 kills, like he's only had 4, right? They've all been super high impact, right? That one shutting down any chance of a retake. The quick pick onto Barton when they walked out A main in that eco round that Nip end up winning. So high impact, low numbers, but overall still sitting top of the server. Don't peek lane again, Phelps. You may have gotten away with it, but Nip are 1 step ahead. They're ready this time. Wopski just mollies it. Phelps has to bail.
This is so brutal, man. If you can't get it done with the Force, if you can't get it done with the Famuses, the Deagles, no utility, then it's the end of the line for GODSENT.
A commendable tournament from them, even if this is how it ends. And, you know, as much as the Cinderella story is fun for GODSENT, it's reassuring to see Nip come back into a series after a very shaky overpass.
I just want to wrap GODSENT one more time and say that, you know, the one thing we've always said about this team is that they're always improving. Every event they show up to, they show up with something to prove, showing the effort, the trials and tribulations of all the work that they put in. And this does feel like it's only the beginning for this GODSENT squad. Now, they're 4 strong over here inside of B. NIP are set up to commit to this side of the map.
Oh, smoke. Dumal's got to pick which side to play. Deagle up close. Oh, Hampus, he checks it. He clears the corner. Deegs not doing enough. The Famus does get a kill, but smokes it down, and so is the bomb. Nip are ready to go to the semi-finals.
Yeah, this is the easiest you're going to have it, right? This 3-on-3 is the simplest you're going to get, the best chance you're going to have to lock in a semi-final appearance. Taking that man advantage, stripping it away from GODSENT, even assembling this boosting cave. There's so much going against GODSENT right now. And NIP looking to lock this in. Barton needs to do the impossible, and he can't make it happen. Hampus is there to close, and NIP, they take us the distance, but they will be going to the semis.
Well, there it is. It's the DHL MVP brought to you by the ESL Pro Tour. Of course, Hampus and company would have to be mentioned alongside of, well, I guess all the other candidates. We got Nip going to the semifinals. They're going to be playing against G2. And I've got Kassad and Moses here to make some sense of our candidates for this DHL MVP.
I think, just right out of the gates, there's kind of two that stick out to me, especially on the NIP side for the Victor, Hampus and Device. Hampus with 62 kills and 50 deaths. Device just a little bit better, 64 and 50. Those two guys were beasts throughout this whole series.
For me, it's just Hampus all over the place. I mean, he has to